Hello and welcome back to ESL Studios in Sydney, Australia, as we see the boys from Parallax giving themselves a bit of a group hug there. They're the favourites heading into this. They've won their 2 games they played so far this weekend. They're in the grand final up against Athletico, who they absolutely destroyed yesterday afternoon. I am joined here on the desk by Sniper and Gimnesso. Sniper, Athletico have entirely turned this around from when they started this weekend. It's funny because coming in, they were one of the favourites coming through. Yesterday, I don't even want to talk about, but I feel we need to. How do you even put that behind you? Do you think it's gone now? Is it they've just been playing that well today? They built the momentum. We talked about, I suppose, the storyline, right? And you said this was definitely a possibility. This is the first thing you said when they lost yesterday was, look, there's every possibility that they come through this lower bracket and we see them again in the final.
Yeah, I pretty much said they would enjoy their run to the final through the lower bracket. And it was interesting to see that come correct, because I saw Chiefs playing today and I thought that, they'd have the wood over Athletico, but just proving me wrong yet again. But at least I got this one right, and now we see Parallax versus Athletico in the grand final after coming through the lower bracket. And you know what? It didn't even look that hard for them, to be honest.
No, it didn't. Jim, did you, before all of this started, did you expect to see Parallax and Athletico in the grand final?
Not after day one.
No, before day one.
Before day one, ultimately, I think a part of me did. Okay. Only because XL5 and Chiefs were 2 teams that were touted as being out of form.
Yeah.
Atletico were an unknown quantity on land in this environment. Parallax had a lot of experience. The question was whether or not they could tie it all together in a nice little package and put a bow on it.
Yeah.
How many of these guys here have won on land before?
Won a national? Or
yeah, won a
I'd
Nats.
call this a national.
Yeah.
Probably Raz has won an online national, but I'm not sure about a land national. No, I don't think any of them have.
No.
So the answer is 0.
Yellow's played in a grand final, but
didn't win.
That's about it, yeah.
So here we go. This
Yellow
is
and
it.
Lonsdale, sorry.
Fair enough. So this is a pretty big deal for these guys. We've talked about sort of the situation and turning up, I suppose, on the day. Of course, it's a big sort of scenario for these guys. They're on stage. There's a lot of prize money at stake. 10K in the pot, 5,000 for first. Do you think, perhaps, Jim, that maybe if they weren't nervous before, they are now that they're here in the grand final? Do you think that's going to play a part?
Definitely. I mean, how many people can actually honestly say that they've attended their first national as a team in this environment on land, turned up, and then won the whole thing? Very, very few.
It's a pretty rare thing, and we're looking at the prospect of 5 people doing it in one national.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty good.
It's that rare. Like I can quote like maybe Otis, Papa John from 1.6.
That would be it.
And then I think in Source has been like, it's been very rare in Source even. Maybe Zoltan or something. But
and I think CSGO was Tux.
And I was going to say CSGO, the only guy I can think of is Tux.
Well, we'll be able to create a little bit of history here for Australia and New Zealand Counter-Strike. So we're going to take a look at these vetoes. Now, the guys on Parallax, they had an advantage coming into this, being in the upper bracket, and they didn't want to do it. It's very, as you said, it's very Lonsdale, isn't it? It's like, I don't know, they used to throw their knife rounds. They just want to put it out there to fate, I suppose. So when we take a look at these vetoes, we can see Athletico removed Cache, which is probably a really good idea. One of their most played maps with their worst win rates. Parallax got rid of Nuke. We'll see Mirage and then Dust 2. No Cobble, no Overpass, and then once again, we could go to Train.
It seems to be the flavour of the month, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely a flavour of this weekend for sure. What I'm curious about is this Parallax Overpass ban. Didn't they just wipe the floor with them on yesterday on Overpass? So is that a respect ban? Or?
That being said, take everything Athletico have done with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I mean, they picked it and then absolutely went missing on it.
Yeah.
So
that's
they're
true.
probably scared that there's something in the tank that hasn't quite been revealed yet. There's a deck of cards that hasn't been seen on the table. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they've just done a Maverick and had 2 aces up their sleeve sitting at the table.
Yeah.
A little bit of high noon. You never know. But this is, to me, this is really interesting. The fact that the guys, they struggled so hard yesterday, yet here they are sitting on the same stage in the grand final, and we're talking about them, or like there's a real possibility they could win.
Oh, definitely. And we said that from the outset. We always thought they were good online, and they've been showing results online where they've been decimating everyone, like Chiefs, you name it, everyone. They've come into this tournament in great red-hot form, and then yesterday they just choked. Ultimately, they just choked. And then today they've turned up, and they got off to a good start. And then I think their confidence built throughout the day, and they're starting to feel the LAN environment a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And I think this is I think it's 100% the guys that we see online right now after seeing the Liaz clutch and so on against Chiefs. So I think, Parallax would be confident, but they'd also be wary.
Fair enough. And they should be, to be perfectly honest. So, predictions, Jim. Can Athletico take this home? Are Parallax too good? What's the answer?
Well, I've been wrong once today.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure if I'm willing to be wrong again, but I guess I won't have a choice in this one. If Athletico are to win it, they're not going to be able to do it easily. I think the veto is actually quite solid for Athletico. So I am going to tip Athletico boldly 2-1.
Athletico 2-1. Jim, wow. Sniper, do you agree with this? You're shaking your head.
It's such a tough call.
It is.
And 2-1 is like the easy way out. So I'm going to say Parallax 2-0.
Wow. So, 50-50 split here on the desk. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it over to our casters. Our first ever Counter-Strike Grand Final live from ESL's new studios in Sydney, Australia. Let's go over to Elfish Guy and Mike Starr.
Thank you, Sam, man. It is a pleasure to be here bringing the grand final to you. And this is looking like a cracker of a matchup. Obviously, we did see Athletico get completely blown out yesterday. But today, they've been looking a whole lot better. And now we've seen the vetoes coming out here. Actually, I think these vetoes, I'm going to disagree here with Jim. I think they might favor Parallax. In fact, I definitely think Mirage favors Parallax. So this first map, at the very least, in my opinion, going to be a pretty tough one for Athletico.
Yeah, no, it's pretty reasonable. Obviously, Lonsdale's very comfortable in Mirage. It's one of his more frequently picked maps going through, not only in this iteration of Parallax, but going in previous Monaco under Trident and the different teams that he's been a leader for and all those sorts of things as well. So it's going to be a map that he's comfortable on, a map that he reads quite well. It's just a case of whether we can see some Athletico, be able to counter what they're doing. And being able to bring some of the form that they've seen against Chiefs, and leave all the form that they brought against Parallax yesterday, well and truly in the past.
Well, it certainly will be playing on their heads a little bit. I think probably it would be nice here to see actually Athletico getting on that T side early, get them dictating the play a little bit more, get them being able to be aggressive or be slow depending on what they want, what they feel. Yep. That way they might feel a little bit more comfortable, and it does look like they are going to be on that T side. So I think that at the very least bodes well here for Athletico. Having said that, still, my pick for this map is going to be Parallax.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with Parallax as well, but it's not going to be a stomping by any measure. I feel it'll be much closer than it was yesterday, so we're going to look at probably around the 16-11 scoreline. And Athletico on the T side is good for them, but I feel like to get that monkey off the back from yesterday's performance, they're going to have to start off pretty well and win this pistol round, which is not easy against Parallax. I'm pretty sure they have won every single pistol round at this tournament so far.
That seems to be the word going around at the moment, and I can't honestly think of a pistol round that Parallax haven't won. Certainly they've been close to losing a couple, but, Yellow is, and Yellow does what he does, so they've been able to bring a few back from the depths of defeat. But having said that, it is looking okay for Parallax in terms of the pistol rounds at the moment. Still, waiting for Athletico to actually make a move in this one before we can really, get an indication as to how this map is going to start playing out.
I've seen Tumbleweed move quicker than this, but some action has started, and Chutch is going to move on into the B-bomb site, picking the first one. But Yellow has a different thing to say about that. He says, "No, sirree, you shall lose your head."
It was a great shot from Yellow, but he hasn't really been able to follow it up here. Kyoto will be able to take him down, and now the B site, the plant coming down here for Athletico. Lonsdale has to come up with a frag here and doesn't. And now it's down to Hatch trying to make his way out of the market. He's going to get absolutely shut down. Jokes does manage to get one shot off onto Liaz, but does seem like Parallax will be losing their first pistol round of the tournament here. Actually, Jokes has other ideas as he does manage to find Kyoto. Still, only on 2 HP to play with and a couple of players to actually go up against. It's going to be incredibly tough for him to come out from here, especially considering the time that's been ticking away. Athletico take away the first round of the grand final.
Rolling their way back into that. Maybe that's an omen, actually. The fact that Parallax lose the pistol, perhaps that's going to be a sign of things to come, and they're going to perhaps drop the map here. We'll never know. That's what the analysts are predicting, perhaps. Athletico will be able to sneak away. Well, not Ian. He went for a bold prediction. Jim said he went for a bold prediction, but I feel like that Ian's is even more bold.
Yeah.
The 2-zip, I feel like this is really going to be quite close. Buying up with only the one UMP and the rest of being pistols. And, of course, Parallax buying in heavily into this round. Yellow unable to get it done there. Liaz taking him down, and they're going to move on to this B-bomb site and try and take on Raz, who's also got the Deagle.
The Deagle work from Parallax lately has been very good, but unfortunately at the moment, not really paying off for them. Still, there's a couple left on the field. Lonsdale will be able to find one. He's got a 5-7 though, so that's kind of irrelevant to the conversation. Still, finding two with a 5-7, they're definitely not going to complain about that one. And now, a grenade coming in there from Jokes as well. So this is working out quite well from Parallax. Having said that, Chuch able to find a couple of frags there on the spray down. Should be able to get a second here, perhaps. Not quite. It is going to be Hats to try and tap that bomb, but it's not going to be enough. Athletico finding another round there. And, I mean, Parallax did a pretty good job in that one, but weren't able to consolidate on it and convert it into a round win.
Athletico now can buy some cheap weapons to try and farm a little bit of cash. Get some moolah. And you see the two MAC-10s there coming out in Infrequent Kyoto. Hopefully, so we can get that AWP into Infrequent's hands. If you're an Athletico fan, you want to see that early on. Had quite a good impact on that against Chiefs, and hopefully he'll be able to do the same, bring it back onto against Parallax. And they've gone for a fairly standard setup. They're not really stacking on the side here, and there's no investment really whatsoever. So this should be Eco's Law one at a time by the looks of things, and that's the way it's heading at this stage.
Yeah, there was a bit of a stack over to the B bomb site from Parallax, perhaps banking on the fact that Athletico's already been to the B side a couple of times. Why not put another player over there and see if we can get lucky? But it wasn't to be. Athletico decided to go to that A bomb site, and certainly is working out pretty well for Athletico here. They haven't lost a single player just yet, and they've got a couple of kills with the SMG as well. So looking pretty good here. 3-0 up, but now this is the round where Parallax have their opportunity to strike back.
We'll see what the purchase is going to be for Parallax, because that's going to be interesting. Lonsdale doing the old glass cannon, the AWP, with a single flash, no armor. And on the side of the T's, we've seen this happen pretty regularly. It seems to be a little bit of a new sort of economic meta developing within Australia, at the very least, of saving weaker weapons in terms of AKs and Galils.
Really weird to be seeing Lonsdale here with the AWP. I mean, we have seen him play with the AWP occasionally, but I don't really understand why it's not on Raz at this point in the game. Hats is going to get the first frag of the round, but Infrequent able to trade him out straight away. Jokes in a terrible spot there. Sprayed through the smoke, and Athletico are going to gain control of that A-bomb site. Lonsdale will try and do something about it, but he's being absolutely smashed by flashbangs and Molotovs and every kind of utility that you can think of. Athletico doing great amounts of work here to just force him out of position. Raz was able to get one onto Sonic, but the bomb has gone down here for Athletico, and it's a 3-for-3 retake with Lonsdale with no armor and AWP. Don't really back Parallax into this one, but Raz is able to peg one back onto Liaz, so who knows what can happen here. Great shot from Kyoto. Yellow is able to trade it out, though, and now one player remaining. It's Infrequent for Athletico to clutch out this round. 10 seconds on the defuse from Yellow, but it is Yellow in the end to actually pick up the frag, and Parallax find their first round of the grand final.
Yeah, Raz able to pick up the AWP there as well, so it's going to be handy going through. Just chuck my AK across, and the defuse gets done. So, yeah, a good counter play there as well. The retake came through quite strongly. Perhaps Athletico just being a little bit keen there early on in that post-plant scenario, but really well played there from Parallax, and the ump coming out from Jokes as well. So
still not putting that AWP onto Raz. I mean, they've got the scout on Raz, which I guess you can understand, but when there's an AWP on the field, why not give it over to Raz? It's something, I guess,
well, perhaps it's
only
just
Parallax knows.
Yep, it's only Parallax, and it's how Lonsdale thinks about the game as well. So he feels like that where he's going to play with the AWP is probably better than where Raz is comfortable with playing with it, and perhaps that's where he wants to have an impact and trying to counter potentially what Infrequent might be doing with the AWP as well. So we'll just sort of see.
Well, Infrequent at the moment is going to be sitting on the AK-47, trying to make his way up short and into the ladder room. He's been heard out there by Jokes, who turns around and promptly puts a bullet in his face. The first kill of this round going in the favor of Parallax. Looking good. Maybe going to be able to turn the tide of that Athletico aggression that we've been seeing so far off the back of that pistol round.
This mid control is working out fairly well for them, but they're going to have to make a decision reasonably soon as to where they want to go. You can see Chuch there holding the line. He's hoping to catch somebody a little bit unawares. But Jokes picks up another kill on Kyoto there. It's going down in mid. So 5 versus 3. Parallax just need to now probably group up a little bit so that they can trade. There's only 3 members alive, and we can see Athletico just wanting to step out onto the A-bomb site. But Lonsdale spotting the player from Palace, unable to make the shot.
Yeah, holding a really tight angle there, and the player in Palace didn't quite peek right into his sights, but he knows exactly where that player is sitting behind Firebox. Sonic is able to get one on the entry though, so not too terrible news there for Athletico. They should be able to get the bomb down here pretty safely, and actually Lonsdale goes down through the smoke there, the spam working out in the end there for Chuch. Raz is able to trade him back, but still Athletico now with the 2 for 3 defense situation. They're trying to keep that bomb alive in the play of the game. Raz has got himself in a dangerous position, does manage to jump out and into the window, and now we can start to see Parallax making their way onto the bomb site. Liaz does take the head off Jokes, but gets traded out straight away by Yellow. They have no idea where Sonic is. They're looking in the complete wrong direction. He should be able to come around behind and pick up an easy kill on the defuser, and that should be the round now in the favor of Athletico. Raz, even if he gets this kill, isn't going to have enough time to defuse.
Doesn't get the kill either. A little bit of salt into the wound there. And another really good play there from Athletico winning it back. And that's going to reset the economy of Parallax. And you can see them having to think about what they're going to buy. I suspect some pistols. I do like the pistols. And it's, in fact, just Jokes picking up the one pistol there as well. So identifying as well Kyoto and Infrequent that they're probably going to be coming up against Athletico, given the fact that they just reset the monies. So they've opted for a cheaper buy as well to try and get a little bit of extra cash on Mirage.
Yeah, Kyoto getting dinked up though, down to 23 HP, so a little bit worse for wear. Didn't manage to do any damage across to Yellow either. So, you know, we'll see if he can win this trade in the end. Has taken a bit of damage over to Yellow now, and you can start to see a few of these Athletico players now getting frags in this round, and not entirely surprising at all considering the buy that they've got. But Yellow, in the end, is actually going to be able to take down Kyoto. Will probably be able to pick himself up that UMP, I believe it was, for all the good it's going to do him as the bomb is being planted on the A bomb site. It was a MAC-10, in fact, as Raz grabs the one onto Chuch, traded out straight away there by Liaz, who also finds Lonsdale. And Yellow, I mean, he may as well go for this. Look, it's not an unwinnable situation by any means.
No, we've seen him come up with some pretty ridiculous clutches so far this weekend. Will it be another one? I suspect this one may be out of his reach. Throws down the smoke. He's just trying to get a little bit of extra cash.
Oh, that's going to help. Sonic going down, but Liaz right there for the trade. 4 kills in that round, actually, for Liaz. So nice work from him, getting the ball rolling for himself. And Athletico starting off strong here, 5-1.
We've seen them start off pretty early, or well early in a few of these maps. So again, repeating that, but this is roughly the point where the opposition starts to adjust to what Athletico are doing and finding a way back into their match. So we're going to see here whether Parallax have the variety that they need on the CT side to try and start to have an impact, or a little bit more of an impact on this match.
Well, we can immediately see a little bit of a change coming out here from Parallax. They push quite aggressively forward. Jokes is going to go down there to Infrequent, but Hats holding right in the A main is going to grab one for the trade. Looks for the second, not quite going to get that. Infrequent able to take him down, and we do see in the end Athletico getting the player advantage, 3 versus 2. Raz getting absolutely demolished through the wall there, but Yellow in the end able to pick up Kyoto. So now a 2 for 2 retake. There's a fairly decent amount of utilities here for Parallax to work with as well, so wouldn't count them out of this one. Athletico have some decent post-plant positions as well, though. The crossfire setup is going to be pretty strong. It's going to come down to the first frag here. Infrequent able to pick this one up. It's going to be incredibly tough now for Raz to find anything out of this round, and I think he knows that he's fallen back to the stairs. He'll be taken down by Infrequent there, and another one on the board here for Athletico.
Feel like Parallax are probably not playing their natural game just at the moment. Usually we see quite an aggressive, a lot of controlled pushes there, backing up together with the team. We saw a little bit of it towards an A-ramp there, but outside of that, there hasn't been a lot of that sort of action, and that's allowing Athletico to play their natural game, and that's obviously something that is working out pretty well for them at this stage. We'll see Yellow, he's going to do the jump peek, the zero spot.
Athletico just going to charge straight into this B bomb site, no fear at all. They know that Parallax is on the eco. Kyoto, this time, not wasting any time dispatching of yellow, and they're able to get complete control of the B site. Parallax really almost no hope of picking up anything in this round now that those first 2 kills have gone in the favor of Athletico. The bomb ticking already down for Athletico. So Parallax just trying to get some exit frags perhaps here. Kyoto, though, looking to try and punish them or at least get some money in the bank with that SMG. He'll find another one. No, it's actually Liaz, but still he has an SMG as well. Kyoto finds the other. And lots of money going into the coffers here for Athletico Brotherhood. 7-on-1 now. This is looking very dangerous for Parallax. 7 on the T side already for Athletico. Parallax needs to change something up, and quick.
Parallax are a better T side than CT side, and as well, it's the same to say for Athletico. So we're not going to count them out just yet, but they're going to have to stop the rot pretty soon. I spoke about it last gun round that this is the time where teams have been able to make their way into the Athletico offense and disrupt it. But it's not to be the case. And now, like you mentioned earlier, Lonsdale no longer running with the AWP, and Raz is doing that over at the B-bomb site, so he's going to hold that apps line.
Certainly is at the moment. Athletico have gained control of the mid area of the map, so plenty of options available to them as to where they want to utilize that and whether they want to go to A or B. But Raz starting off well. The AWP in his hands now certainly seems at least a little bit more comfortable, getting the pick there onto Kyoto. And now Athletico forced to back off from the B-bomb site. Chuch trying to make his way in towards A, has spotted out Jokes. Not quite aware that Hats is standing there in the A main area as well. So needs to be careful of his positioning. Lonsdale in the meanwhile able to pick up one onto Sonic. And things slowly but surely starting to favor Parallax in this round.
Yeah, playing the little bait play at the top of A ramp there as well. But Liaz has made his way up to the top of the stairs there and gets the kill on Lonsdale. They're going to split onto this bomb side here, but they still have 2 to deal with. Hats getting a double kill, getting naded down to a very low HP. Infrequent going to come around, picks up Jokes, gets Hats as well. Great play from him, and we're back onto a 1 versus 2 scenario, and there is a chance that Infrequent can pull this one off.
He's going to fake the plant here and try and draw something out from Raz, but Raz holding tight in the CT spawn, isn't going to peek into the waiting arms of Infrequent, eventually going to stick that plan, and now the bomb is down, working in his favor, but he has 2 to work with. He's found the 1v1 duel, and Yellow goes down. All of a sudden, this turns back towards the side of Athletico. Infrequent in a great position here, already has 3 kills, looking for his 4th to close out this round in the favor of Athletico. If he's able to pull this one off, it's going to be crushing for Parallax. Raz with only the AWP to work with, not even a defuse kit, it's going to be tough. And he's making his way slowly but surely onto the bomb site, checking as many angles as he can, but he doesn't have much time to work with. Infrequent actually taking things into his hand, and Raz deciding to run away into CT spawn and save that AWP. Athletico very pleased about that one. They're going to go 8-1 up, just completely and utterly demoralizing Parallax right now.
3v1 he pulled off there?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Another
No, 4v1.
4v1.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, Raz didn't end up challenging. I mean, you almost got to back yourself in and actually try and challenge it in that aspect. AWP, I thought there that Frequent was playing with fire a little bit, trying to step out into that tiny sandwich to a CT spawn line, coming up against the AWP, or potentially. But he got potentially a little bit lucky with the timing. Not quite sure what was going on with Raz's head there. And Lonsdale showing a little bit of aggression underneath. And he is going to back away nicely, and that's going to put Parallax at least in the box position to try and make something of this round and get only the second CT round. 8-1 being the scoreline at this stage.
Parallax finding themselves in a very similar situation to what Athletico did up against Chiefs early on in Dust 2, where they were putting themselves in positions to actually win rounds, but they weren't able to convert those positions into an actual round win. There's been 2 or 3 times now where Parallax probably should have closed out a round and haven't, and Athletico really just taking advantage of that.
This is almost an inverse to what happened yesterday between these 2 teams.
Yeah. Kyoto is starting off well, but Hats from the dark area, sitting in a Molotov, eventually going to go down, but did do a lot of damage from that position. 2 players left alive here for Parallax. Coincidentally, Raz and Yellow once again. Let's see if they can redeem themselves from the last one. Well, Raz going to be going down to Infrequent there, so a little bit of an unfortunate situation that Yellow finds himself in now. 1 versus 3, and this is certainly looking like another round for Athletico. 9-1 should be what the scoreline will read very soon. And, well, where do you go from here for Parallax? Like, it's impossible almost to come back from this. Like, even if you win every round in this half, it's 9-6, which is still a pretty terrible CT side score.
not for a T-biased team, a team that is more heavily dependent on their T sides rather than the CT sides. But no, I'm certainly agreeing with you. I mean, they have to win. To have a good crack in this map, they have to win the rest of these rounds here. And you can see the timeout coming out with it maybe a little bit late. Potentially should have done it before the previous gun round. But at this point, you have to do something. You have to stop, take a check about the scenario, what's going on here, and before continuing on. And good smart decision here from Parallax boys to take the timeout.
Just trying to see who's really saying anything, if at all, for Parallax. It does seem like actually Raz might be doing the majority of the talking at the moment, which is a little interesting, being that Lonsdale is the in-game leader. But maybe it's not necessarily a tech pause in the sense of we need to think about a new strategy. Rather, it's a tech pause of we just need to reset ourselves and
regain focus,
come into the rounds following this with a new, fresh outlook on the match. Don't take each round as it comes. At the moment, they don't even look like they're talking at all. So, that seems like it could be something to speak of. Maybe they've got their coach, just in their ears saying, hey, guys, this is not the end of the world. You're down 9-1, but it's only the first map. It's only the first half. It's certainly not over from here.
No, plenty of Counter-Strike ahead of us in the grand final here, Season 1 of Australia New Zealand Championships, ESL, of course, coming live for you from the Sydney studios, which are absolutely schmick, as a side note, you can probably see and have seen all weekend. So, one of the things that Parallax did to Athletico yesterday was just completely decimate them mid-round.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's completely opposite. As soon as the round starts to progress and a kill or two is coming in, we're seeing a couple of really good things from Athletico. And we're not just seeing someone like we saw the clutch from Infrequent, that 4 versus 1, where he kills 3, or trades out 1 and goes on to kill another 2.
Yeah.
And then effectively Raz gets timed out of the round. So that's obviously highlighting one of the sort of big plays as well. But something you may not have noticed there is there's a lot of small teamwork things that are going on there. And that round following the clutch, and I think it was this last round, maybe the round before, we had Infrequent pushing into CT spawn on in a post-plant scenario, but his teammates flashing and nading in just before. Raz is sitting there trying to hold a line, gets flash, gets blind, Infrequent steps out and takes it. And then 15 seconds later, do the exact same thing to get the last kill of the round as well. So we're not just talking about individual brilliance, which is something that this Athletico team has
in spades.
Yeah, has in spades. It has been known to do. We're also talking about some really nice small meta teamwork stuff from them as well.
Certainly seems like everything that was missing for Athletico.
That's what's been missing for Parallax.
Yeah, it certainly has, but I don't know if it's going to be enough in this round. Yellow, though, able to pick up Sonic. And now they put themselves in a pretty good position. They've got some weapons, and they've got the player advantage as well. So it's down to Liaz and Kyoto. We know that these two are such explosive players. Kyoto had a great map on Mirage previously today. Liaz, of course, is such a powerful, potent player, one of the best on this team as well, which is definitely, nothing to scoff at, given the caliber of players here. Kyoto actually able to take down Hatch, brings it back to 2v2, and you almost back Athletico in this situation now, especially considering they've brought it back to even numbers. Joke's in a great spot, though, if he can find Liaz here, which he should. Doesn't quite. And, finally, I think he might have got a little bit lucky there, Liaz.
A little?
Just a little unsure where he was, and wasn't able to convert the mistake there from Jokes, but now down to Kyoto in the 1v2. Still 30 seconds to play with, so has the time to work all these angles and see if we can get a bomb plant down in a safe position. Yellow should be covering off this angle and see if he can get him, but no, Kyoto wins the 1v1 duel. It's all down to Jokes now, and again, this is a round that Parallax put themselves in a winning position and have slowly but surely thrown it away. It's down to Jokes. He knows exactly where he is, and Kyoto clutches that one out as well.
This is slowly but surely escaping the grasp of Parallax, and it's getting pretty scary there as well. So this is a team Athletico now. They're certainly feeling inspired. They're feeling up and about. The confidence levels are high, and they're going to have to keep the momentum up here and really punish this and close this game out in strong fashion.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, it seems like everything that was missing for Athletico yesterday has finally shown up today. And, I mean, it seems like right now they're even playing better than they were in their previous matchup. So, it's great to see here for Athletico. A good shot from Raz, though, is going to peg things back a little bit.
But we've seen this before.
We've seen
already.
this before, I guess. I mean,
yeah,
I know
we've
you're
seen
right.
them get that first kill, and then they go on to lose the scenario later on. So We're going to see whether Parallax can close out the second round from this numbers advantage. At the moment, Athletico are fairly spread out across the map. And looks like they're going to want to, well, at least they're taking that bomb towards that B bomb site. Infrequent running with the AWP trying to pick something. And one of the good things, or one of the things that Parallax have done here, Raz has got that pick early. He's pushed up aggressive, but straight away he's fallen right back out. And now Athletico are conscious of where that AWP might be. And instead, that's holding quite a defensive line. And Yellow is there in support as well. Not to mention that second AWP, which is on the other side of the map. But at the moment, Athletico just being held off in the apartments by that smoke. They are going to, the Molotov rather, they're going to drop a smoke to be able to push through here. And it's Yellow who will be trying to keep them from entering the site. He doesn't really need to do a whole lot though, as Raz picks himself up a double kill. 3 in the round here for Raz. Yellow does eventually manage to grab one onto Chutch. It's all down to Liaz in the 1v5. And you'd have to say, there's no way he can clutch this one out. Yeah, and he should at least just try and kill someone and then die so he doesn't get the economic disadvantage. He died, that's fine, and Parallax picking up their second round, but really important now, the huge investment. They have to get to 5. They have to get to 5. Yeah, they have to get to 5. The huge investment they just put into that round of 2 AWPs. Yeah. Make sure, they really need to be sure they're not going to get punished by that, by Athletico as well, because basically the loser of this round will more than likely go on to Eco, and then we'll be staring into the barrel of potentially, we're looking at 11-2 or 10-3, and those extra little rounds, like you mentioned, getting up to that 5 mark is going to go a long way, mentally speaking, as well as scoreboard pressure. I mean, the momentum definitely will start to shift in the favor of Parallax if they can get the final 4 rounds of the half. Kyoto gets right up into connector, but Hat's able to take him out as he enters towards the A site. But in saying that, really, there's not much of a defense on the A side at the moment. Atletico just walking right onto that site on the, on their jolly way. Raz in the CT area is completely smoked off, and eventually we are going to see the rotate from Parallax. But in my mind, Atletico got in there far too easily, and Sonic is able to get one onto Hats. He should find a couple more here, but no. Jokes is able to pick that one up. Infrequent in the meanwhile did take down Raz, which is a crucial frag in the grand scheme of things. Still a 3v3 here. The Molotov going to land perfectly, but it's not going to matter as Yellow will take out Infrequent anyway. And now down to Chutch and Liaz. They do at least have the bomb in their favor, but where is Liaz all the way down in mid? If they even start defusing now, they might have difficulty stopping this, but the bomb is planted for him, and he knows it. Gets the 2-man spray down. Fantastic work here from Liaz, and it's all down to Yellow. He's trying to stick this defuse, but another great clutch coming out from Liaz. 3 versus 1. They're just going huge post-plant scenarios right now. 3 versus 1, another 3 versus 1 earlier in the map, and Kyoto had that, was it a 2 versus 1? With the post-plant, I think it was a 2 versus 1. So they're just, and we'll check it out here, the spray for that second one gets it done, and Liaz coming up. That's trumps. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. How many rounds have we seen here that Parallax should have won and didn't? Probably at least 3 to 4. A handful, yeah. 3 to 4? Yeah, that's going to be, it's going to be quite a different scoreline there. You're sort of looking at a 5-8 or something instead of an 11-2, and it's really quite a stomping now. And Parallax buying into this round, just the Deagle on Raz, although can't always say just the Deagle, and then the damage that it can do. Especially for this Parallax lineup, who've been using it excellently throughout the weekend, with probably the exception of this map. Yeah, well, I think so far this map has been the exception. Well, this half certainly has been the exception to how they've played all weekend. And it's going to be a matter of whether they can turn it around or not. So they've forgiven mid-control. They've stacked 3 towards the A site and 2 quite defensively on the B site. It's going to be a long rotation. At this stage, it looks like Raz is going to make his way into a slightly... No, he's going to choose to stay at the B-bomb site regardless. So the key play here, Sonic's going to make his way up mid. He's going to come through to connector and try and split onto this bomb site with his teammates coming up. Lonsdale going to find the first pick of this one, but it doesn't really deter Atletico from going towards the A-bomb site, which incidentally might not have been the best idea from them. They do start to get taken out as they enter that site, and now only Kyoto remains in a 3 versus 1. Parallax, again, should have this one on a wrap down, but well, we'll have to wait and see, because you definitely can't count out Athletico considering they've won at least 3 rounds like this. He doesn't have a lot of time, and he needs to make a move straight away and get some kills. He knows where Lonsdale is. He doesn't realize the trade's in here from Yellow, so he's going to get smashed in the back of the head here. Oh no, that cannot happen here for Parallax. Kyoto able to pick up Yellow. He's got enough time to plant if he goes for it, but he's going to go for the pick here onto Raz. Not quite going to get it in time, but again,
way too close for comfort there for Parallax. That should not have happened at all.
Yeah, and it's going to make the Parallax buy a little dodgy as well in this final round. He's been able to drop a weapon there, but it's going to be low on armor or picking a weaker weapon. 2 Famouses, the UMP, and the 2 proper guns that should be out here, the AK and the M4. And, well, I guess they're going up against a pretty weak buy that's Tech 9 and Armor. And we can see here just a straight A execute from Athletico. We haven't seen this for a while. Joke's coming up pretty aggressive there and gets taken care of. So they're just going to go straight in here and try and do their best.
Yeah, Hat's in a great spot here to find another one, and he does. Lonsdale able to grab a couple for himself as well. What looked like a dangerous round coming out here for Parallax all of a sudden turns back in their favor, and they are able to close out the first half with 4 rounds. But on their CT side, I'm not sure that's going to be enough here.
Yeah, it's I guess they salvaged what they could, given the start that Athletico had, and some inspired plays by a few of their members as well. So you're looking at the scoreboard in terms of frags. They're all just about even on Parallax. So they're not just no one's trying to carry them and lift them across the line. They're all sort of doing roughly the same, and just Athletico again on their scoreboard side of things as well. They're looking pretty even in terms of frags. So another good team performance coming out from Athletico, not necessarily depending on, say, the AWP of Infrequent, which was probably not greatly impactful on this first half. But I mean, he had that great clutch as well.
Yeah, he
using
did.
the AK. So if you're going to do that, it doesn't really matter if you're not having that much of an impact with the AWP, does it?
No, I mean, Kyoto, I think, was the standout at that point for Athletico.
Yeah.
He's, I believe, the top fragger at the moment for those guys, and he was one of their top players on Mirage previously as well today. So certainly seems like a good map for him individually. But I think, importantly for me, we've been actually seeing Liaz starting to step up now, which we definitely didn't see yesterday. And also earlier this morning, I still felt like he was a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
But now he's been able to get into the groove of things, and we've seen him pull off some really nice clutches. A couple of them today in this particular match, and a couple previously today as well. So that bodes a very good sign for Atletico, because now, to me, in my mind, they're really running
it's a self-belief
at 100%.
Yeah, I think, honestly, there's still more to come from Athletico in terms of individual performances, because we spoke about it on the desk as well before. They're working together as a team very well, and I mentioned before the small things they're doing, flashing for each other, so that the peak that they're going to take is a higher percentage than normal. All those small things, everything's happening for them. They're communicating well. Look at them. There's a smile on their faces. They're all thinking it's all good. That self-belief is really high, and Counter-Strike is a confidence game, and they have confidence at a very high level right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that you mentioned those small teamwork-oriented things, because that's definitely something that we didn't see yesterday. And in fact, it was actually something that we saw Parallax doing quite a lot. And from what I can see at the moment, it's not happening at all on Mirage here for Parallax. So that at least is one part of the gameplay that is missing for Parallax, and has been showing up here for Atletico. But now we are heading into the second half pistol round. This is a do or die almost here for Parallax. So they certainly don't want to let Atletico get any more of an advantage in this one than they have to.
Parallax have been very strong with the pistol rounds. We've spoken about that. Great length so far. And at this stage, they're going to take it quite slow, opting really to try and suss out what Atletico are doing on the defense. And they're running a fairly standard setup. They're going to give up A. So if the bomb goes towards A, they're going to play retake rather than trying to contest the players as they come into the site.
I think the other thing you've got to remember is that Atletico, sometimes their CT sides haven't been the best.
Yeah.
So, it's not all said and done just yet here for Parallax. If Atletico really capitulate on this CT side, we could be, getting a game out of this first map.
Yeah.
Or OT, I mean, sure.
We're really not going to see anything just come down yet, so they're going to bust into the A site. Like I said, they're playing retake there. Parallax pushing up really close here. Raz getting the kill on Infrequent, and it's going to be the bomb down, and it's a 5 versus 4 scenario in favor of Parallax.
Jokes pushing through that smoke with the aid of a flashbang from his teammate, is able to pick up Kyoto, and he's going to pull the knife out, manages to grab that kill as well. Judge going down. to the knife of Jokes, but Liaz and Sonic able to trade back. It's a 2 versus 3. Jokes only on 2 HP. They need to be careful here still, Parallax. They do not want to lose from this point on. Jokes able to find another one there onto Sonic. It's Liaz in the 1v2. We've seen him do it before. Can he do it again here for Athletico? In the pistol round, he's going to get Jokes, and he puts the fake defuse down on Hats, but Hats not too keen to peek out into this one. He's going to stick the defuse. Oh, that was so close. Parallax able to just win out that pistol round, and they definitely needed that. But again, Athletico looked pretty good.
Yeah, look, there was it was a little bit worrying there. I thought, given the fact that we saw this great play from Jokes, pushing through into CD spawn, but also the fact that they were also pushing up towards the connector and whatnot, and not just happy to sit back and let Athletico run their desired retake setup there onto them. That was a good play from Parallax. But then I thought it was going to go around in the way Athletico. They came back so strongly, but a good clutch in the end there from Hats coming down to the wire. But it's what their team needed, perhaps a little bit of inspiration for this second half.
Yeah, certainly looks like we might be getting a game out of this one, Mike. But at the moment, Parallax trying to make their way onto the B site. Hats able to take down Liaz without too many issues. Still a couple of these players from Parallax getting lit up a little bit. Chutch finds one. It's okay, though, as Parallax able to trade him out. And the bomb should momentarily be going down. Sonic trying to do a bit of work with the Deagle. Not going to happen. And as expected, Parallax just going to be rolling over this B bomb site without too many issues. They get the bomb down, and it's now Kyoto up against 3, trying to get what he can out of this round, but no real expectations.
Just trying to bait him out, get that kill there in the end. You can see Hat stepping out as soon as the contact was made there by Yellow, and playing the good old supportive Counter-Strike. 11-6 is the scoreline after a great start from Athletico. They've lost the pistol round in the second half, and Parallax taking out that one as well, or the subsequent round after the pistol round. And we can see not a lot of investment, just some P250s on Athletico, and looks like they're going to try and, we've seen them go aggressive in mid a few times, but they're opting not to do that, instead of sending 3 towards B, which is good news because Parallax are also sending 4 towards B. However, like we mentioned, they are on the eco. Liaz trying to play the ninja box.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad setup here for Athletico, all things considered. They have a pretty quick rotate from that person. I think they're in window. Yeah, looks like they are. But it's Parallax starting to make their way onto the site. Liaz able to get one. Can he get a second here? In a good spot for it, but not quite able to land the shots as Hats takes him down in the end. Kyoto once again finding himself in a pretty bad spot. And he'll try and get something here. But Parallax, as expected, should be able to take those 3 rounds off the back of the pistol and get them back to a 7-11, which is still not great, but certainly better than something like a 14-4.
Yeah, no, I'd much rather go to a 7-11 than a 14-4.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's more availability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top up your Go card, or I guess we're in Sydney, so your Opal card.
Opal card. Oh. As we are casually chatting, Kyoto casually picks up 2, and
easy as you like. Still, not going to be enough there for Athletico.
Yep.
Parallax securing another round. Probably lost a couple more guns than they would have liked, but
not going to harm their economy too much. You can see Hats sitting up at 10k before the buy, so he'll actually, I believe he dropped one there as well, so we can see that replay. Again, lovely headshots from who is, well, Kyoto is their sub.
Yeah.
Technically, still previously in the lineup, but no longer officially. They're running with Wizard normally. Can't play this one due to the tournament rules. So we can see the mid aggression here from both teams trying to get it up and going.
Well, Lonsdale was in a good spot there to be able to pick one up, but didn't manage to convert it. Raz and Hats, though, able to find one apiece. Kyoto now finding himself in an interesting position, but Raz will shut him down. Joke's able to take down Liaz as well, and all of a sudden, over on this second half, we are certainly starting to see a bit of a second wind in the sails of Parallax. You can hear them now starting to scream and shout. Athletico, all of a sudden, going quiet.
This will test the resolve of Athletico, and we mentioned both these teams prefer the terrorist side, and we're seeing that come to fruition here in the second half. The first map of the grand final. The buy is looking like pistols only for Athletico, which is reasonable. And I mean, that last round was really just a straight battle royale down the mid.
Seems like Parallax really like to head towards this BB site against the Ecos. I just feel more comfortable.
It's an interesting decision because of the range that you can get with the pistols. I mean, the P250, you're getting close enough range. It's a single dink to the old noggin. And Jokes there picking up the first kill on Liaz.
Good awareness from him to take Liaz out there. Yellow as well, able to pick up Kyoto. They need to be aware of Sonic, and Yellow very much is. That player at the bench still alive. Chudge firing away, but eventually does get taken down by Yellow. Infrequent now, the remaining survivor. He's, I guess, filling the role of Kyoto now for Athletico, as he's walking around here in towards ladder room, trying to find someone from Parallax, but again, I guess the best case scenario for him now is to get those exit frags, and Athletico slowly but surely losing hold of that lead that they've managed to build up on their T side. So need to be a little bit wary now of how things are going.
Parallax opting to take the route that they went in on the way out of the bomb site, and Frequent's going to come up with not a much. And he's not going to be able to secure a weapon, which would probably be the ideal scenario for him in this case. No. He's going to sit and chill axe towards T-spawn. So quite happy there, and Parallax pick up their 9th round, and it's been a pretty good comeback. We'll bring up the scoreboard quickly, and we'll have a look at, you can see there, 5 in a row.
Well, I mean, they picked up a couple of CT rounds as well, so certainly the momentum has shifted back in the favor of Parallax, and they're getting very close to being able to overtake Athletico, but they are going to have to go up against a full buy here. Infrequent with the AWP, spotting down in towards mid. The smoke blooms for Parallax, and Infrequent not able to land a shot there through it. Parallax, as a subsequence, secure at least partial control of the mid area.
Still quite a reasonable amount of focus towards mid, although it being a more defensive setup from Athletico. You can see Liaz is up there as well. Yellow's made his way right up onto there. He's going to challenge Liaz and takes him down straight away. So already this pressure is mounting on the Athletico defense. They've lost 5 in a row. Will it be a 6th? At the moment, Parallax have map control. Can they exploit it to continue their winning ways?
I'm sure they'd be keen to continue to do that. And they have looked in fine form once they swapped over to their T side. Just deciding where they want to go for the moment. It does seem like the B site once again going to be the option of choice. Interesting to see the disparity between the two teams. Athletico hitting the A bomb site 11 times out of 15, and already Parallax, this will be their 4th out of 5 if they hit the B site.
Sonic makes the information jump, gets the play, throws down the delaying Molotov, but they know where he is now. He gets flashed out, still gets the kill. Jokes trading off pretty quickly there as well. The bomb will go down there, and it will be a 3 versus 4 retake for Athletico if they are to succeed.
Kyoto's in a good spot here, almost catching Jokes off guard, but no. Jokes too quick on the draw there, gets the headshot, and shuts down that push from Kyoto. Now 2 for 4, and Chuchin and Frequent really not much of a hope of being able to retake this bomb site. Parallax setting themselves up for, once again, another round when it looks like Athletico keen to just get out of there and save those weapons into the next round.
Some small errors starting to creep into Athletico's play here as well, despite the dominance that Parallax have. In that scenario there where we saw, was it Kyoto that was challenging Jokes there onto the bench?
Yes.
Yeah, so he knew, based on the grenade, Frequent picks up a nice little double there. They're trying to chase him down. Don't think he might be able to get hit.
It's going to be close here. Lonsdale jumping around the corner is going to be able to get that. And you can hear how much that means to the Parallax lineup. A huge pickup.
So going back to what Kyoto was doing there, he knew that Jokes was sitting back there based on the information that was communicated to him and the fact that he saw a grenade come out there as well. But he stepped out and started running really early. Jokes picked up on the sound cue straight away and lined up the shot and landed. I mean, really, Kyoto should have made that shot regardless, based on the fact that he gets the advantage of stepping out. But just a small little error there that you might, if you're feeling a little bit more confident, then it could go your way. But confidence is a fleeting thing, and sometimes you can turn it on. Parallax again on this this eco is a B eco yet again.
Yeah. This is sort of something that Sniper touched on a little bit on the analyst desk. They leave Lonsdale in mid there, and the rest of them hit a bomb site, which in this case certainly hasn't worked out for them. Lonsdale gets picked off, drops an AK over to Liaz. But it should be an okay situation anyway for Parallax. They did get free control of the B site and have got it on pretty much lockdown. Athletico don't look like they're too keen to contest this. And I'd say Liaz just wants to keep that gun into the next round. Of course, he's got armor and a Molotov as well. So a pretty hefty investment into that one, I guess, from Athletico, all things considered.
Well, they have the loser's bonus now, so they're up to 3,400 in cash when they lose the round for each round. Having lost, what is it? We're up to, 7 in a row now?
That'll be the 8th.
8th in a row there. Yeah. So, yeah, getting bulk cash, getting handed out to them. I don't know who hands out the money, but it's certainly pretty generous. when you're down. And for all the work, for all the glory that was the first half for Athletico, we're back to a drawn game, 11 apiece.
It's actually looking better now for Parallax. They've won 10 in a row, technically, 8 in this half. And have a look at the economy, just absolutely fantastic here for Parallax. Athletico are going to be able to afford a full buy into this one, and they're going to be really hoping that they'll be able to find a round from somewhere soon, because they're starting to get into danger territory. Parallax really starting to snowball in this second half. And, well, once Parallax gets on this sort of a run, you can imagine what's going to happen, given the results that we saw yesterday.
Taking mid-control yet again and getting it quite easily as well, spending a few utilities to gain it, but it's certainly worth the economic impact and the lack of utilities they have for later in the round. But, I mean, that hasn't been the problem in this half. In terms of closing out rounds, they've been able to do that quite comfortably. Once they've taken a bomb site, they've been able to hold it successfully every single time. Atletico now starting to struggle on the CT side in terms of holding down, and they've basically been put back into the shells here. They're playing very defensively. So Sonic has sit at this point a couple of times. They're just running a 2-1-2. There's really nothing interesting in here whatsoever from a stacking perspective, but Infrequent picks up Raz straight away. But that's going to be the go sign for Parallax to head towards B rather than A now that the picking angle hasn't worked out for them.
It's the first time in a long while that Athletico had the advantage going into a round, and, well, the B defense as well starting to work out finally for Athletico. They've cleaned up that round. I don't think they lost a single player.
Nope.
And that's the first round on the CT side there for Athletico. They put themselves back ahead. But Parallax, you know, they've got enough money here to rebuy at least another round, maybe another couple of rounds after this anyway. So the pressure still on Athletico here to be able to continue what they've just started. If they get reset here, it's just going to be almost impossible to come back.
Athletic will be able to buy next round, because at the moment Liaz has got AK left over with a full buy, so he'll be able to drop the only player who can't buy, which is Infrequent. So they'll be able to contest the next round with at least a full range of weapons, maybe not so much utilities. We just noticed a small mistake there from Parallax. I think they threw 2 smokes into the mid window at the same time.
Well,
just small little things.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes it's all it takes.
It is.
And then Frequent there, starting to come alive with the AWP. That's his 3rd kill in the 2 rounds that we've seen from last round and this round. So
maybe the switch has been clicked here for Athletico.
Maybe the spark has been lit.
Yeah. Sometimes you only need that one round or even that one kill that, you know, maybe you wouldn't ordinarily have gotten to start to turn things in your favor, and you could run away with it. Athletico certainly at the moment doing a good job in this round, having picked up that initial frag from Infrequent, finding themselves that numbers advantage, but they don't want to lose it from here, because that would be a bit of a momentum crusher, and certainly wouldn't be too great at all for the mental aspect of the game. Sonic spraying through the smoke there, won't land too many bullets, but I think you saw a couple of players from Parallax, and I mean, Parallax have definitely been favouring this B-bomb site, so you could probably draw a conclusion from that they're coming towards B. Lonsdale coming up short, trying to get some damage across, but not getting any backup from his teammates in Apartment. Liaz finds 3 before going down to Raz, who is the only remaining player for Athletico. No hope at all in this round. Church picks him up, and that's 13 now on the board for Athletico. Have Parallax let them back in the game just now?
Seems to be the case, at least. We can see just quickly as well how much of an economy that the Athletico boys have, in fact, set up already. You can see quite a number of, well, easily a buy in the next round if they were to lose this one as well. So it's going to be another little bit more of a war of attrition in terms of we're speaking. And straight away, 2 rounds lost. Parallax is shifting up what they're doing, and they're going to do a straight A execute. We'll see how Athletico can defend this one.
Chutch hanging around in dark is going to be a crucial player in this one. Jokes checks the corner but doesn't see him. He finds 3! Chutch, what is going on here? I don't understand. Parallax just completely falling apart. They looked so good, and all of a sudden everything is going the way of Athletico.
Well, we spoke about a little bit before about Kyoto making a small mistake, as we see Chutch do the mop from underneath the palace there. But yeah, we spoke before about Kyoto making a small mistake and not bringing up Jokes, and now just a small mistake creeping into Parallax's game as well once they're, a couple rounds down. So how quickly things can change, and like I said before, you got to be a confident player to play good Counter-Strike.
Well, Parallax really need to lift now. This is the round. If they don't win this one, that puts Athletico on 15 match point, and it's just going to be so much harder to come back from that than the 14 rounds. Athletico riding the wave of victory at the moment. Parallax have just fallen apart in the last 3 rounds.
Going back to what has been pretty much working for them, although they're now trying to opt back out of the B hit. And we can see Athletico playing very defensively yet again, infrequent. Basically, at this stage, you've got 2 sitting in CT spawn. You've got infrequent here looking through window just to make sure that flank doesn't come through. And the B players playing up, not really, they're pretty defensive as well. So at the moment, this is what's been working for Athletico. So they're going to back it in. And they're going to have Parallax come back in again towards this A side. They've had no success yet on the A side.
Well, they've only hit the A side twice, so interesting to see them defaulting back here when the B side has, typically speaking, been their more effective site so far. Jokes, though, getting some good control in towards the site. The smoke's keeping a few players stuck in CT there, but Kyoto spamming through the smoke is able to pick up an easy kill onto Jokes. The bomb's going to be planted, not quite by Lonsdale. He gets forced back by the Molotov, and that allows the smoke to dissipate enough for Kyoto to take down Lonsdale, and everything falling apart again for Parallax. Having said that, Raz able to find 2. Can he find a 3rd? He spots out Kyoto, knows exactly where he is. Yellow was able to find 1 in the meanwhile. It's a 2 versus 2. Such an important round now for Parallax. Only 10 seconds left on the clock. They need to plant or find the kill. That's going to be the round there. Athletico finding it. Kyoto and Liaz combining to find the frag apiece. And now Athletico find themselves on 15 rounds, 1 away from taking the first map here in the grand final.
The defensive retake setup is working very well for Athletico, and the reason why it's working, PDG spoke about them not being able to do this yesterday. They're doing it certainly a lot better this time, particularly on the CT side, and that's the use of utilities. You saw the Molotovs coming onto the plant spot. You saw flashes all coming up in a slow sort of fashion continuously, just putting on pressure on Parallax as they're trying to get that bomb down, and they're able to close it out in the 2v2 scenario. Well played by Athletico, map point.
Yeah, looking good here for them at the moment, but Parallax going back towards that B bomb site. It's worked out for them previously. Not quite at the moment, though. Infrequent and Sonic finding 1 apiece. The trades come back in the favor of Parallax. As I say that, though, Kyoto able to find 1. It's 3 versus 2, and this is looking very good now for Athletico. No bomb plant just yet for Parallax. It's going down eventually. Joke's going to peek in towards Shop, finds 1 onto Infrequent, a crucial frag. But having said that, Chuch finds 1 onto Raz, and the second 1 onto Jokes. That is going to be map 1 going in the favor of Athletico. It looked close for a part, but Parallax then just falling apart towards the end of that.
Yeah, they'll be pretty disappointed with how that one fell apart. Atletico, though, really great play. Them, he can't fault that. Well, I guess he can fault the first quarter of that second half, where they started to really get smashed by Parallax, but be able to work their way back into the game. That's a really big play by them, and close it out as well. Not only just get back into it, but then put the pressure back on Parallax and finish it off.
Really strong mental fortitude coming out here from Athletico, and it puts them in good stead to come out into the next map and really wipe the floor with Parallax. But still, we did see some good points there for Parallax, so it's not all said and done. It's only the first map here. It is a best of 3, so opportunities still for Parallax to come back into this one.
What's their pick, though?
It was indeed.
So we're going to go into the second map, will be Dust 2. So that's going to be, obviously, that's Atletico's pick, and we saw a win over Chiefs on Dust 2 as well. So
yeah. All right, well, we'll have to find out how that one goes. We're going to head to a quick break, but stay tuned because the analyst desk will be coming up just after this.
Back to our coverage of the ESL Australia and New Zealand Championship Season 1 Finals for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. My name is Sandman, and we're back here on the analysis desk with Sniper and Jim Nesso. Gentlemen, Parallax, I don't know. Atletico look like they could have this. They've come back. They finally won a few rounds here up against Parallax. Certainly more than the few, literally, that they won yesterday in their best of 3. They picked up Mirage. It was Parallax's choice. And now we're on to Dust 2, a map that Atletico decided to play. Jim, what is happening here? Is this... Atletico must be feeling pretty good right about now.
It was all an elaborate ruse, is what it seems to be. I mean, they're a little bit more calculated on that map. I think they've gone from Pathetico to Mathletico.
Wow. Did you have that? You have that saved, Jim?
I thought about it in the last.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. Look, it's interesting because I'll give this to you. I'll give this to you, Sniper. I almost stole it, but I'll give this stat back to you.
Ben, it's yours.
Atletico really seem to struggle on CT.
Yeah.
And the maps where they get to play T first, they go okay. Now, we're heading on to Dust 2, a map where we heard PDG say earlier that, again, the T side of Atletico was far superior to the CT side. Is there a chance here that even though it's their pick up against a solid team such as Parallax, if they're on the wrong side, it may not work out for them?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I'm not sure what to take of a Parallax CT side, T side to start off a map, and I'm not sure if... I think Athletico had the game of Dust 2 already against Chiefs. They're a bit warm to the idea, and I actually don't think Parallax were watching that game at all.
Okay.
So they haven't really taken anything out of that, and I think they're just going to try and come into here with some bravado. But unfortunately, as we see, Athletico are like a bull out of a gate.
They've had some seriously good individual plays. There's some kills and there's like triple feeds regularly coming out of these guys. And that's, we talk about, but that's how you win games, right? There's individual talent on a level across the vast majority of your team, which is what we've been seeing Atletico do here today. Jim?
Well, that's the scary thing, is the fact that all of Atletico are turning up now. It's not just one or two players pulling them through and getting them rounds as it was in XL5. It's all of them starting to play now and play correctly in the right moment. They're also pulling together as a team, not overcommitting to the peaks without some sort of insurance policy, and they're taking a little bit of, I guess, initiative in the way that they're playing their rounds.
Now, coming into this is really the first time all weekend that Parallax has really been challenged. The first time where there's a real chance here that they're not going to win anymore.
Yep.
We saw them yesterday. We had guys like Lonsdale, guys like Yellow playing some really good CS. What's happening? Are they just being outplayed, or what do you think?
They could just be buckling under the pressure, like we said before. This is their first grand final for a lot of the guys. I only know two of the guys really with any experience coming out of the Parallax camp. And Athletico just seem to be, we've got nothing to lose sort of attitude. They're going for all the frags, and Liaz and Kyoto, they've just got this spray pattern that they're destroying the Parallax attack. And like we mentioned earlier, Parallax like to group up on their attacks, and what do you know? When they group up and a good spray pattern comes down, there goes 3 players. It's devastating.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that too. We looked at how those rounds were won. There were 2 separate 3 versus 1 rounds there that Liaz actually managed to bring back for Atletico. So even those are going their way, and it's hard to win maps when things like that occur.
Yeah, exactly right. Especially if you consider the teams are probably in reality on par in terms of skill. If you're going to throw away those 3v1s, there's not much you can expect to do after that, I suppose.
Absolutely nothing. I mean, that's game-breaking stuff. That's really, you can't come back from that. These are rounds that you're supposed to win, and that's why you've got to play them properly and by the book.
Yeah, well, look, I see the bombs planted in that smoke. I think maybe if we try 3 times, we might actually be able to defuse it. Obviously, that wasn't the case. Yeah,
you should be sitting here.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I'm maybe I need Elfish Guy stats. He's the one writing them all down, to be perfectly honest. But look, Jim, Atletico on their own map, they're 1 up. They've got the momentum. Are they going to win this map, or can Parallax come back? What do you think?
If they don't suffer from an overconfident approach to the map, I think they can take it. They really need to take a seat back here and readjust themselves and remember their surroundings. It could be very possible that they, overpeak and they overpush and overcommit to things that they don't necessarily need to do just because of that confidence having won their opposition's map. So I think the mentality is going to play a big factor in how they approach things. They're still going to play with the same aggression. Parallax need to be very well aware of that. I think they will be. They will be probably setting themselves up a little bit more passively at the start of rounds, waiting out that aggression and delaying their, set executes and takes, particularly on those T-sides, a little bit more.
Who's going to win the map?
It's a tough one to say. I think Athletico have really surprised me. I did predict Atletico in a 2-1. It's looking more like a 2-0. I'll still stick with that 2-1.
Okay, don't be a Mike Star. Sniper, who's going to win the map?
Well, I'm going to go with Athletico for this one. The story for this map is going to be if Lonsdale can do what he's known for and getting that short control without using much of their grenades, and then being able to do their set executes on their mid to B fakes, or their drop it into CT spawn, or taking control of A site. So if he can get those executes going, sure, maybe Parallax are a chance, but I've seen too much individual aim star stuff from the Athletico guys just to pass that up. They haven't really turned up until the last 2 series.
Yeah.
And now that they're here, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I think Duster is such a pug map. They're just going to unsettle Parallax, and we've seen before what happens.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Sniper, our pro player from back in the day, he's here today, and he is on the bandwagon here for Athletico. Can they take out our grand final, or are Parallax going to bring this back to 3 games? We'll just find out right now. Elfish Guy and Mike Star, over to you.
Cheers, Ben. And yes, I think I'm on the Athletico hype train as well. They've been looking fantastic in that last map. I mean, there was some takeaways for Parallax, but Athletico, certainly for me, showing the mental fortitude to come back into that one, putting themselves in a really good position to win this grand final, especially just in this map. Not even take it to a 2-1. I think it's going to be a 2-0.
Yeah. I'm starting to agree with you. I think this map is going to be a real indication of these teams' mental strength. As you said, there's a lot of pressure now on both teams. The pressure for Parallax to come back from what was pretty scrappy at times, first map on Mirage. And now the pressure sits equally on Athletico. They've had such an interesting run, such a poor start, and they've been able to slowly build back into the form now, and they're in that form that we thought they would bring, and that ability to take out this whole tournament, and they have the chance now, but will that weight of expectation hold them down, or are they going to thrive underneath the pressure?
Well, we always knew that they could do it. We just didn't know whether it was going to be now, or if it was going to be next LAN, or when it was going to be. But there's certainly always that ability available here for Athletico, that skill ceiling perhaps, which I feel like just now they are starting to reach. So boding well for Athletico, especially heading into Dust 2, which the analysts did say was a bit of a pug-style map at times, and that should, in theory, favour Athletico with their strong aim and fantastic skills as individual players.
I guess we can't, if we're going to talk about aim and a high skill cap for individual players, you can't. You've got guys like Hats and Raz in particular on Parallax who are just really, really strong LAN players. So we can't just exclude, or we can't start talking about Athletico and saying, yep, these guys are higher skilled as well. There's certainly plenty of firepower on Parallax. And good news if you're an Athletico supporter, because they're favoured, their preferred T side is the side they're going to start on, and they're actually pushing up really quickly and aggressively onto A long, making the cross now, and there's nobody to defend. They're up on the short side.
Yeah, this bodes very badly for Parallax. They're in a lot of trouble just sitting up there on short with no cover really to play with. Chutch able to find the first kill of the round and the map. Raz going to be going down. The bomb planted on the A bomb site. This is working out fantastically for Athletico right now, and looking like they might be poised to take this pistol, but still, 3 players left from Parallax. Unfortunately, they're all coming from the same position, so Athletico rather really only need to look in one direction. They don't need to split where they're looking at, and that's going to bode well for them. Sonic is going to be taking the first duel, but goes down straight away. Jokes and Hats finding one apiece for Parallax. Still, this should favour Athletico. Having said that, though, Hats finds one. The defuse is on here from Hats, but this is an easy frag for Liaz. In the end, Athletico picking up that pistol round without too many issues. And something that I want to mention quickly before we get too far into things is that Dust 2 has been one of Parallax's favoured bans throughout the last month. They've only played it once, and they actually lost it as well. So I don't know if you want to draw too many conclusions from that, Mike, but that really doesn't fill me with confidence here for Parallax.
What can I say about that? You've got to be right. I can't negate that
They played it
whatsoever.
against XL5, by the way, and it went 16-19 in the favour of XL5.
So a team that's weaker than Athletico as well, and losing it in overtime says a little bit about the pressure and to be able to deal with the pressure of OT as well. Infrequent getting the opening frag onto the B-bomb site. Jokes going down, and they're going to push through here. A lot of fire being exchanged there. Finally, Kyoto gets the kill. They're going to be able to put the bomb down as well. The quick rotations come through from behind, but that is shut down by Infrequent again. Sonic picking up a kill. So we're looking at just last alive, the Hats, and he has been taken out as well. So all in all, pretty easy done and dusted.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah?
Well.
Just warming up, mate. I'm finding form like Athletico, you could say.
Well, I kind of hope you don't, to be honest. But Athletico, on the other hand, as you mentioned, are finding their form. They're 2-0 up already. Good start to this map. I don't think they necessarily needed to get that momentum going, but it certainly does help them. And now making their way back towards that B bomb site. It worked out so well for them in the previous round, and only Jokes here really to contest them for Parallax. They've got a 4-stack over to A. Jokes goes down without really having much of an impact on this round, and Athletico getting the site almost for free. I mean, they lose a bit of HP on Kyoto, but
That's
who
free
cares,
plan.
really?
Barely used any utilities. They've got plenty of chances. This is going to send Liaz out on a frag mission here. He's going to try and get a couple of people who are sitting up on the A site. He's getting just tagged down a little bit. Raz, yeah. Raz is just
Raz is being like that little mosquito that keeps buzzing around your head. You're like, you think it's gone, and then suddenly it's back. Yeah, exactly.
Another one for Mav right there. But all he's doing is trying to bait for hats, not bats for hats. And he's got 2 people pretty low here, so if Hats can make his way out here.
Get a knife kill.
Yeah,
Please do
that'd
it.
be huge.
There's no chance. It was a good attempt, but...
He's relying on a lapse there.
Yeah.
A lapse of concentration from the Athletico guys. But they are sharp and they are focused in, and they are taking momentum into the first gun round here. It's the second map, Athletico taking out the first one, which was, in fact, Parallax's pick on Mirage. And Dust 2 is Athletico's pick as well. And Infrequent straight away going in with the AWP. And
not going to get anyone on the cross, but he was pretty good with it against the guys from the Chiefs, so...
Particularly on Dust 2, yeah.
Would expect to see him picking up a few more attempts at least getting that cross kill, but regardless, now there's those 2 players holding onto the B side, but Athletico have really quickly got in control of the mid area. There was no contest at all from Parallax, and as a result, the B site being split upon by Athletico, and well, they get
shut out of this round pretty much straight away there. So they're not going to want to waste this AWP here. They're going to want to keep it for the next round. Raz doesn't even have armor, so the chances of them conducting a 3 versus 4 retake onto a close bomb site like the B site is just, it's pretty much, I'd say, in like the low 20%, somewhere around that mark. And
maybe not even that, really.
Yeah,
they don't have a huge amount of utilities to work with, just a flash and a smoke.
And this pace is sort of catching off Parallax a little bit off guard. I mean, Athletico were they were a fair bit slower and more measured on their T side, typically on Mirage, so showing a little bit of flexibility.
Sharp there from Kyoto.
Yeah, especially with the Galil. I couldn't get a headshot with one of those things to save myself.
Well, we are talking about you here, Mike.
Yeah? What are you trying to say, Jordan?
What do you think I'm trying to say?
You're trying to say that I'm not very good at the Counter-Strike?
Yes.
You'll probably be correct these days. Play me 1v1 me in Overwatch. We'll see how we go then. 4-zip is the scoreline for Athletico, getting back into the focus of the things at hand, and the economy situation is quite strong. Atletico typically only using 1 or 2 players at the end of the round, and Frequent this time with a spawn for Long goes to take a pick, but there's nothing there for him. It's a pretty, it's a force buy from Parallax, having the fact that they saved a few guns in that last round. They're picking up a couple of Famises, so...
Oh, Lonsdale. Catching a few grenades, but really, in the end, they don't actually do that much damage to him.
But they're already a man down in this round as well. So Long has been taken by Athletico as well. So what they're probably trying to do here is going to try and squeeze up onto this short part of the site. And Kyoto does that very well in Lonsdale. So now they have an empty bomb site. They're not to know that, of course, but they're going to make the transition from Long and short up onto the site. Probably trying to execute that at the same time. Chutch lurking around, gets taken down by Jokes. And Raz missing the shot there. So that'll be the bomb plant. And again, we're in that 4 versus 3 scenario onto the A side. But this time, Parallax might have a little bit more of a sniff, I feel.
Yeah, perhaps. But, I mean, it's really not all that ideal for them at all. I mean, they've got a 3 versus 4. And only Yellow's got a CZ, really. So Jokes getting that entry frag is not too bad. Takes it back to a 3 versus 3. But already a lot of time has gone away on that bomb timer. Jokes finding another one onto Sonic, so there may yet be a chance for Parallax into this one, but they do need to move quickly, getting those Molotovs on towards Goose to flush out any of those players. Infrequent and Liaz, though, holding right down in the pit. They know exactly where the bomb is. It's just going to be down to Infrequent now to land the shot, and he does not! I thought he did, but he didn't.
It looked good, but it wasn't good. So that's the first round there for Parallax on Dust 2. But there's going to be plenty of cash for the buy-up. You can see Liaz starting off with $14,250, which is probably more than the entire Parallax team combined. But they've managed to scrap together a reasonable buy based on what they had previously as well. And Frequent starting off the round pretty well as well. So that retake there by Parallax is the sole result of having a slightly longer bomb time.
Yeah, it was.
Because Because it's just Jokes just found a kill and they said, you know what, I've got a little bit of time, I can just play around here, see what we can make happen. Decide from there, and ended up being a round in the favour of Parallax there. So this time, Athletico slumming things back down, right back down now. They're not having anywhere near as much impact early on in the rounds as they have previously. Perhaps a little bit scared now that Parallax have got one on the board. But they are taking this short area that Sniper talked about them taking and trying to use it to advantage onto the A-bomb side.
Trying times now for Parallax. They don't want to win one round and then lose a couple.
They haven't decided where they want to go at all yet, but it looks like it's infrequent. No, Kyoto's at spawn, and he's taking that bomb towards the B-bomb site. So potentially see an A fake across into a mid to B type split. And Frequent's just holding the line there to make sure that nobody pushes them onto that while they're trying to make their decoy onto the A side. You can see Raz there is reacting to the utilities that are being thrown, but so far it hasn't really drawn a rotator.
No, I think the game's probably already up here from Athletico. No one from Parallax rotating across just yet. Raz and Lonsdale finding a kill apiece. That's a great start in this round for Parallax, but immediately Chuch and Infrequent reply. Now it's down to Yellow trying to hold that B-bomb site solo. He has to drop the bomb carrier here, and he's not quite going to do it. Kyoto able to pick that frag up, crosses the doors safely, gets the smoke down, and he will also get the bomb down here. This is going to be a pretty good situation here for Athletico. They're going to have some decent post-plant positions, but Chuch making his way closer to the doors. Interestingly, they have got the crossfire set up. Eventually, this Molotov might be pretty useful here onto Kyoto. Going to flush him out of that position. Not quite. Yes, it is. There we go. It's spread, and he's actually going to go down to it as well. Chuch finds one, but it's not enough. Raz with the retake, and the bomb defuse coming out here for Parallax. Slowly but surely mounting a bit of a comeback, but I mean, I guess it's a little bit early to call it a comeback. It's only 6 rounds in, but 2 rounds in a row.
Yep, trying to wrestle some momentum back off. But the bomb plant allows them to buy up again, as well as the first 4 rounds that they won in a row. Still, I mean, look at the ass. He's still got 12 grand. Like, is that guy getting funded by some sort of dodgy political donations or something here? Like, anyway.
The Bank of Athletico?
Yes.
Thanks, PDG.
Yep. Providing lots of cash, and it's going to be an attempt at a long take there. Infrequent trying to get out, and he gets caught there, Molotov, and then taken down by Hats, completely blinded there. So the presence early on and from Parallax on A-Long has worked out pretty well, but the trade has come out already, and there should be another one going down there where it's Kyoto's picking up the double there. So they still need, and this is not a great play there from Lonsdale. He's stuck in the middle of nowhere. Gets away with 1 frag, but that's not really what he needed there. His life was more important than the frag that he took there.
Yeah, certainly needed at least 2 there. Chuch going to catch Yellow with his back turned, and now 1 versus 3 for Jokes. It's going to be incredibly tough for him to do anything in this round. Chuch will just be watching that angle. An easy kill for him in the end, and Athletico bouncing right back. 5 on the board now. Parallax going to have to eco.
Well.
Force.
No. They're not going to have to eco. They're going to
to
Parallax it, and they're going to buy. We're going to buy, damn it. And we're going to buy a scout and jump around and be really, really annoying, I suspect. Because that's what you do with a scout. So Infrequent's going to contest mid here as well, tries to take one. And there's the scout shot. He tags Yellow down to 13.
He's tagged them
19
both,
rather.
yeah.
Yep. And now 16 for our scout player, Lonsdale. So Athletico aware of what's going on, and someone's playing with fire in the mid there.
Well, and it happens to be Lonsdale, actually, who goes down to Liaz. And Parallax now.
You can see straight away the rotation off long. There's been no presence really there whatsoever. The flash comes in, but having his back towards Sonic is Jokes, and they know where another player is. So I think Athletico are going to walk away with this round fairly easily in the end, given the fact that Yellow's low on HP already.
Raz not in a bad position here. If Yellow can maybe bait something out for him. In the end, Yellow just goes down straight away. Chuck should close this one out, but Raz getting the headshot with the Desert Eagle is able to close out at least 1 kill in this round. Finds himself an AK as well. Not doing too bad of a job of holding that mid door, but he'll just fall back off that area and try and save the AK here, which is probably the best possible scenario at the moment for Parallax.
It will certainly shore up their economy. They're going to put the bomb down on the B site, and then I suspect they'll probably want to try and go and hunt, given the fact that Parallax did buy into this round, so cause the maximum economic damage to the bank of Parallax, which sort of suffering on hard times here. A little bit of a depression. Recession rather, not depression. I'm sure their money situation is a little depressing as well. So they're just going to sit back on this A-bomb site. There they are, chilling.
Chilling, killing, Well,
not
really,
killing.
Not really
Yeah.
killing at the moment, are they?
Not doing enough killing if you were to ask them, I suspect. Speaking of who is doing the killing, we'll have a quick look at the scoreboard and update you on who's getting all the frags done at the moment. Chutch, you can see down the bottom there, leading for Athletico. But again, it's not really a case of one person just going absolutely ham, but they're pretty well tied in together there. And it's a fairly similar scenario on Parallax, but would be Yellow and Lonsdale towing the line there down the bottom on 2 frags apiece, thus for 8 rounds in. Going into the 9th round, another eco for Parallax. Just the AK on Raz, but that could be enough to have a little bit of an impact. And Frequent getting another tag there. And the door. Bam.
Very nice there from Infrequent.
Yeah.
Great start to the round. And Parallax hurting even more for the fact that even though they're just on pistols, now they're down a player as well. A quick entry onto the A side. Kyoto's going to get one. Does get traded out immediately by Raz, but I dare say that's not going to be enough here. Hat's doing his best with the Deagle, and it gets a 2K. Chutch and Sonic going down. Now all of a sudden it's a 2 versus 2. Hats won't be able to recover that AK safely. Liaz just watching that angle. And Hats really just has no option here but to either wait for his teammate or try and take the risky peek, which Liaz should surely punish him for. And in the end, Infrequent is the one to pick up the kill. And it's a 2 versus 1. Now, Yellow, we've seen him pull some crazy stuff out with the Deagle, specifically in pistol rounds, but it doesn't really matter when you can get those one-shot headshots anyway. Not going to happen in this case. Infrequent closing it out there on to him. And, well, I think the situation now for Athletico is, you know, they want to get as many T-side rounds as they can because we saw them last map getting plenty of T rounds. You would have thought, oh yeah, they've got this map in the bag, and then all of a sudden Parallax come back on their T side. So Athletico, despite being so far ahead right now, definitely don't want to rest on their laurels.
Well, I certainly agree there, and Raz getting tagged down to 9 HP there by Infrequent there, who's doing a lot of early round damage for Athletico. I just want to highlight something there. They got the pick on the mid player going across to B that last round, but then they went for a fast A long. Usually if you get that pick on the B player, you want to shift your way towards that site, particularly if you know how many have across, and you would have seen 2 go across in that instance. So picking up 1 there, bit of a weird decision, and ultimately they probably lost a few extra weapons in that round of Athletico, but they closed it out, so full respect to them dealing with the pressure there, and it looks like they're starting pretty strongly in this round as well.
Yeah, Parallax getting the first 2 frags here, though they have lost a lot of HP as a result. Having said that, Infrequent the only one left here, and with the AWP, I guess he doesn't really have the opportunity to necessarily take advantage of those low HPs. He's actually taken out the CZ, manages to take down Lonsdale. Still a couple of very low players here for Parallax, so at the very least, you would hope that Infrequent is going to be able to get a bit of economic damage over to Parallax, if not win the round.
That'd be probably, knowing the fact that Infrequent's running with the AWP, they should be sitting there. Okay. Throws away his grenade there. He's got to recover the bomb, which is on the short, as you can see there. So he's just throwing some utilities around. And like you said, the best case scenario here is to see what he can get, see what he can kill, try and make a little bit of an impact on this round at the very least.
Yeah, this is not a terrible decision here from Infrequent at all. And
well, he's got to hurry up with it.
Yeah, I mean, he's tried and failed, but I like the intent coming out from him there. 3 on the board now for Parallax, and well, at this point in the game, they're actually doing better than what they were previously on Mirage. So I guess they can take that away. I'm sure they're not going to be too pleased with it regardless.
Yeah. 7-3 the score line. And, well, they have an opportunity here to continue the economic damage onto Parallax if they choose. Infrequent there, not being able to see what has crossed. And there's actually 3 on the B-bomb site in this instance, which in turn has an impact of long has been taken here by Athletico. So what you forgive in one area, the other team can take and potentially use against you. We have to see whether Athletico are able to do that.
Athletico making their way up long here. They don't know that Lonsdale's hanging around behind the smoke, but the flashbang there just for security is going to allow them safe passage on the cross, or at least the bomb carrier, Sonic. The rest of the Athletico members still stuck on the other side of long. The Molotov just burning away on the side. Chutch finds one. Hats immediately trades him out. But the bomb is going to go down here after that Molotov burns out. Athletico now have the timer working in their favor. Jokes and Lonsdale already lit up a little bit. But this should be a pretty even Steven retake here between Parallax and Athletico. We'll see. Whoever gets the first frag is my pick to close it out. But that remains to be seen. Kyoto is the one to find that. And the second. Hats, though, grabs one back. It's not all said and done just yet for Parallax. Raz needs to come up huge, but it's Hats in the end who actually closes out that frag. He's going to need to sit on that bomb very shortly. Raz goes down. Hats doing what he can, but in the end, not even able to spot out Kyoto. Finally gets the job done, but this is an unwinnable situation. He got 4 kills in the round. Hats is going to be so disappointed with how that round turned out. And Athletico grab another one on the board.
Surviving with 1 HP nonetheless as well. Kyoto playing a very, very strong game there in the post-plant scenario, picking up 3 kills. Great play by him. 8-3 now, so Athletico have hit the pass mark for Dust 2. Get that 8 rounds, get that slight advantage, particularly on the T side, but they're going to want to punish it and finish it off in a 12-3 type scenario, finishing off these 4 rounds, particularly since this one is an eco, although Raz has picked up that AWP.
Yeah, Jokes getting a bit of damage across there too. Kyoto hasn't actually taken any in response. The Molotov flying through onto the B site. In the end, Sonic does take down Jokes, but Yellow trades back. Again, the Deagle in the hands of Yellow. Can never count him out with that weapon. Does grab another one onto Kyoto before going down. Not a bad result from him individually, but across the board, Parallax not doing so great in this round. The bomb going down on the B site, and Chutch in a pretty good position to stave off any rotators as well. It doesn't even seem like Parallax too keen to try and retake that one, and Lonsdale remaining alive here for Parallax, and he needs to stay alive with his AWP.
Hats remaining alive.
Hats
Lonsdale was the one going down. Yep. You were reading the kill feed as you went to say that, but yeah, you're totally right here. Saving this AWP is very important for Parallax and their economy. We'll bring up the scoreboard again, just have a look at the cash that's on both teams. So this being an eco round, saving a little bit from last round, this AWP is going to go a long way. Raz is going to be able to roll with that. He's the lowest on cash as well, incidentally, for this team. So that'll be very important there.
They are chasing him down.
Well, they want to take it off their
very close.
Ooh. No.
Don't know what actually happened, but I think he missed the shot.
He missed a shot. Oh, no, he did got it. He did get it. There you go.
Fair enough.
I thought I would have heard the sound. I did not. 9-3. Athletico, again, showing very strong promise here in the second map of the grand final. Again, just 2 people over to the B-bomb site. Pretty standard hold here from Parallax, and they're trying to make sure that they have long control early, and that's been successful. They take down Kyoto. He was the person who was basically using the spawn to try and get across to that blue box, and then just sort of lurk there and wait and cause some havoc later on in the round.
Yeah.
But unable to do so. Lonsdale taking him down. And it's a 5 versus 4 scenario. And again, this time, Parallax opting not to contest short in a more aggressive fashion, leaving it back, and they're just going to use the utilities to hold off Athletico in that sort of department. And they are all sitting around here. Pretty much at this point, they're not decided as to what they're doing. They're just basically a gaggle in mid.
Yeah, it's not necessarily too bad at the moment for Athletico. They've got plenty of time to play with. Still a minute to go, and they're going to send Infrequent up on towards short to see if he can spot anyone out on the A-bomb site. Hat's going to want to be careful sitting in Goose there. If he peeks the corner, he's going to be in trouble.
He shouldn't
peek. It's a Molotov coming out, and he is going to be not in trouble because those are going on towards the site. So
this is the bait play for Raz on the AWP there. So Hats is going to step out the last possible point here. So Raz gets the first one. Good play from him. He's still got 3 more to contend with.
Raz finding a couple of kills, doing a good job holding that short area with the AWP. Does miss that one, but I think the damage is done already here for Athletico. The final player going to go down to Hats.
Classic bait play.
Yeah, really good stuff from Parallax there, and probably the first round in a long while that they've actually looked convincing.
Sending Athletico back onto a 4th buy.
Yeah, less
Tech 9th
ideal,
so it's the 14th round. I would have thought, given their 9-4 up, and maybe eco this one. Perhaps it was a bit of a miss by, or probably won't be able to tell you. Infrequent rolling with the AWP. I guess if you're going to roll off something, an AWP on your star player is probably the best way to do it. And they're going to opt back towards this B-bomb site. Very little pressure, or presence rather, in mid. And really, Parallax have got a good setup this time. So last time we saw 2 and 3 pretty much split all the way down the mid. So 3 at long and 2 towards B in B site. This time they're running the 2-1-2. So this is a better setup for what Athletico are trying to achieve here. To counter what Athletico are trying to
dangerous
achieve
times there, but somehow Raz misses that shot. I felt for sure he was going to hit it. Sonic getting away with one of his extra lives, perhaps. Yellow, in the meanwhile, finding 2 over towards the B side. He's going to drop a Molotov that's going to be eaten up by the smoke. in the end, though. Athletico going to be high-tailing it out of there and making their way towards what looks like the short area. Hat's in a great spot, though, to find this one out. Infrequent is going to go down, and he'll take the duel here against Liaz. Will lose it, but did a bit of damage across to Liaz and gets the information that at least that Athletico are moving towards that A bomb site. Lonsdale sitting here with the AWP by car. Going to be very prepared for this. He gets flashed out, so some good work from Athletico there. But Lonsdale just going to reset his angle. And this time, not going to land the shot either. The Molotov will slow things down there for Athletico, but they are going to get the bomb down. And interesting that Lonsdale didn't really have much backup on that A-bomb site.
We'll see how the retake goes. They've got Jokes coming from long. He's going to be pretty critical here as they will be completely exposed unless he says where he's coming from initially. He flashes himself, so that's no good whatsoever. Liaz, well, we spoke about on the desk the spray that Liaz has been able to do. Unable to get the job done there on the Galil, and Parallax not losing a player in the 3 versus 2 retake. So picking up their 5th round, and we're going into the last round of the first half. Second map, best of 3. ESL ANZ Championship.
Parallax have actually secured themselves a double AWP setup they picked up in Frequence from the previous round. And heading into this last one, it's going to be looking pretty good for them. A very nice buy coming out, and on the other hand, Athletico really just scrounging for some weapons at the moment. Looks like Sonic's going to be running away with just a P250, and Liaz only with the Tech 9.
So this time, Chuch is very successful in getting out Lon, picking up Hats well ahead of all the Molotovs and the other counter grenades that they put down, but Lonsdale is sort of waiting there and lets them know that he has the AWP pushing down onto that long side, and Frequent's trying to get it done there in the pit with the scout instead. And they're just going to keep pushing. They don't care that there's an AWP here watching.
Yeah, Lonsdale really needs to do something here. Raz not going to have much of an impact behind that smoke. In the end, Lonsdale just going down straight away to Chuch. And the A-bomb side almost secured here for Athletico. Parallax really not posing much of a defense. Infrequent, unfortunately, shooting Liaz and taking him out. So that's not going to help things. Still, this should be, in theory, a round going in favor of Athletico. Yellow only on 1 HP. Jokes will have to come up massive here, but he's running straight into a crossfire. Gets one immediately traded out there by Infrequent, as you would expect. And Jokes only on that with single HP. Yellow, rather, on the single HP. Just going to be an easy pick there for Chuch. 10-5. Good first half for Athletico, setting themselves up well, but we did see them have a bit of a shaky CT side on Mirage. So
On the replay as well.
Yeah.
The TK. Last time I saw a scout TK, it was Gratisfaction in the grand semi-final? Grand final.
I don't even
Do you remember that one?
No.
Oh, surely you remember that one. It was a great, I don't even know what happened. Anyway, scout TK didn't cost them a round in this instance. And it's 10-5. Moving on to the CT side, the tougher side for Athletico, and Parallax as well being a strong terrorist side team. We'll see what they can come out with. And it looks like they want to do probably an A execute at this point. We'll just kind of see where they want to sit off at this stage.
Infrequent pushing really aggressively in towards bedroom. Yellow getting away with his life for the moment. And, I mean, Athletico get a little bit of information off it, but I don't think you can draw too many conclusions just from seeing that single player over there. No. Seems more like a bit of a default setup coming out here from Parallax. Just biding their time.
Lonsdale has something up his sleeve with those 3 grenades. He doesn't just buy 3 grenades just for the sake of it. You'll have something planned for it, and it looks like it could be a mid to B. Yep, but Athletico are pretty well set up for this.
Kyoto in a great spot can do a bit of damage from that CT spawn. I assume they're going to smoke it, but there's still options available for that player in CT if it does get smoked. Regardless, actually, Parallax slowly but surely making their way out onto mid, and you can see that smoke eventually popping down, but Kyoto just going to pop his head up over the boxes and find himself a nice easy frag. Sonic going to chime in with another one, and everything working out perfectly here for Athletico as this pistol round very easily should be going in their favor. Jokes aside, it's a 2 versus 2 kills in his favor, so, well, he's going to try and make something of it.
He's going to have to make an ace in a 5 versus 1 scenario there, and it does not happen. Infrequent shutting him down there. So very important pistol round they're going for Athletico. That's going to give them a lot of confidence and self-belief to try and take this one all the way and go home grand champions.
We have been speaking previously about how good Parallax's pistol rounds have been. They hadn't lost a pistol round up until the grand final, and so far they've actually only won 1 out of 4. So that's a lot of free rounds going towards Athletico, and maybe that's going to come back to bite Parallax, because at the moment things not going too well for them. But as I say, that Jokes comes straight out onto Long, finds 2 kills, could look for a third, and wow, what a shot onto Infrequent. That's going to be nice for Parallax. They're going to smoke the cross here. We'll see what this player is going to be able to do. It's Sonic behind the smoke there, gets taken down by Lonsdale from short. And you'd have to say that's around there for Parallax. The Force Buy working out well.
Looks like they want to take the Tech 9 train to DE train for the third map.
Would love to see that. It's been a pretty fantastic grand final so far.
Yeah.
And are we going to see the Parallax T-side come to fall like it did on Mirage? Maybe they won't falter at the final hurdle this time.
Obviously going into this round with the weapon advantage and the utility advantage, they're going to probably take it slow, see if Athletico want to try something on them, try and pull a fast one, and try and shut it down. Infrequent has been shown pretty keen to push out towards this long area, but there is Yellow waiting for him. He does have some friends there to back him up. I suspect this will probably go poorly if they choose to push. Liaz at the back is... No, Liaz is going to flash in here, and these two are going to run out and try and catch him.
Well, the flash, there it is, finally. Yellow trying to spam through, but works out exactly as you said, and works out very well there for Athletico in the end. Infrequent able to pick up the FAMAS. The bomb has been planted over on the A bomb site, though, so Athletico really running out of time at the moment, and these defensive flashbangs coming out from Parallax really slowing things down as well. I think Athletico almost out of this round as it is.
It's an eco round though, so they've picked up a couple of kills there. If they can save this FAMAS, maybe use it next time. Hat's picking up a nice double kill, make that a triple. Really starting to come alive. Chuch picks him up, he was very low on HP. And Jokes goes and picks up one himself. So it's 11-7 now. Not saving that FAMAS in the end.
No.
It's all right. Okay.
They'll just have to eco this one out.
Yep.
Parallax looking pretty sweet on there by this time. Raz going to be taking away the AWP as opposed to Lonsdale, who's been, sharing the AWP duties, I suppose, on this map at least. And last map, I guess. Gross going to try and get out here on towards Long, but runs straight into 3. Hats is able to get 1, but he's still got a couple of players to contend with. And, despite the fact that he's got the weapon and armor advantage, it's not a great situation even still going up against 2. He is in danger of losing that AK here, but Liaz, Liaz and Kyoto just completely falling apart there and going down. Good stuff there from Hats to secure that area. And, Parallax just going to make their way over to the B bomb site, get the bomb down, and try and secure themselves an 8th round.
I think they will successfully do that. I can't see a 2v4 retake going on, particularly when they're not even particularly keen to take it on, although they are making their way towards the B-bomb site now. We will see them probably set up to try and get some sort of exit frag, some sort of kill, perhaps. That would be ideal for them. Perhaps pick up an AK. Although I suspect not much is going to happen. Oh, Sonic gets the AK from Long, but he still has Hats to contend with. Doesn't get it done. The aim punch coming into play there, and Hat's picking up a headshot through the barrel. And Chuch going down there at the end of the round as well. So Parallax starting to get a little bit of confidence in here, starting to get a little bit of rhythm into their play. But this is going to be the first gun round of the second half. Yes. And well, Infrequent straight on the AWP. Smart decision there. Full M4s on the rest of the players for Athletico. Raz just playing information rather than trying to get a pick right there.
He spotted 2 crossing. Infrequent wasn't too keen to even challenge that. Yeah. That mid area. He's gone straight towards Long. Maybe had a good spawn for it, but has fallen back towards Car now just to cover off short. At the moment, a reasonably standard setup coming out here from Athletico Brotherhood on their CT side. Parallax, on the other hand, trying to make their way up short. And they're being relatively successful at the moment. No one from Athletico actually contesting them.
We'll see what sort of execute they have ready for them. They can still drop down into that mid area. So we can see the CT spawn player is playing more so on the A side. We can see him playing quite defensively here in mid. So he can probably help CT's in the defense there, and they're just throwing some counter flashes there. And Frequent's just going to have to stay here and hold this long area. Actually, no, he's got one contest there as well. Lots of flashes coming through. The A site is under attack.
Oh, good shot coming out from infrequent. Lonsdale going to lose his head, but I think that's the only kill that Athletico are going to get on the cross here. The bomb should be planted relatively safely here by Parallax, and it is going to be planted for short, which is fantastic considering that Parallax have 3 players over towards that area. They're going to send one up towards Goose, but as soon as that smoke fades away, that should be, in theory, an easy pick for infrequent. So rotate his position across towards a little other part of the site. And now Athletico starting to try and make this retake work. Joke's really the only crossfire here for Parallax. He needs to be careful with him. But it's a great flash coming out for Parallax. Not going to work out too well in the end as Jokes goes down straight away. Great stuff from Liaz finding the double kill. And a relatively easy retake in the end there for Athletico.
Well, I mean, they took a lot of damage, but they didn't get any kills done. And that's sort of the problem there is for Parallax that they're only defending from one spot. So all that concentration of fire, the grenades, the utilities, they cleared out long, they cleared out CT spawn. They knew the A boxes itself was clear. There's only one spot that those players are going to be coming from at that point, and that was from short. So send all the flashes, Molotovs going that way, and Parallax burnt and died in fairly rapid succession.
Yeah.
And we're going on to another gun round. Athletico pitting up their first round, breaking the run of rounds for Parallax prior to that. So they're going to be able to get buying back into this and hopefully win this round to avoid the economic reset. We'll see how it all plays out. Just the default coming in for Parallax. They've been pretty passive with the defaults as well. They're not putting a lot of pressure on the bomb sites until they really come into that execute stage.
Yeah.
So it's potentially something that they could get a little bit more proactive in, a little bit more spamming, maybe a couple more utilities, just to keep players
in 2 minds, perhaps.
Yeah, in 2 minds. Do I rotate? Do I not rotate? Keep them engaged, keep them focused on a particular area while they work somewhere else. A little bit passive at this stage, but I'm not going to claim I know more than Lonsdale. And
in general, Parallax have also been playing relatively slow too, so I mean, there's always that other option of just trying to go quickly, see if they can catch Athletico off guard, and maybe not necessarily just yet because things have been rolling along relatively okay for Parallax, but if things start to get a little bit dangerous, there's always that option of heading into one of those bomb sites a little bit quicker.
One thing that is working in their favour is they've bled quite a lot of utilities off Athletico here. So they're going to roll into this B bomb site. Chuch gets the opening kill. He should probably drop off that line. He's going to double down though. The Molotov goes in. He gets taken out by looking around at the wrong time. And the B bomb site has been taken by Parallax to be able to get a plant here.
Sonic very close though, hanging around window. Might be a bit of a danger man here for Parallax in the end though. Not really opting to peek in and try and contest the bomb plant, which in the end is probably a wise decision. Still, it's a player advantage situation here from Athletico. If Liaz picks up this kill in tunnel, it's going to be really tough for Parallax to hold on to this site, and it is actually Hats to close that one out, so good stuff from him. And now it favours Parallax, but as I say that, a couple of quick kills coming in the favour of Athletico. And they're going to find another round. Now 13 on the board. The pressure really starting to mount for Parallax.
Just another case of Athletico having numbers alive late in the round and just overwhelming what Parallax were trying to do there. Again, there was sort of a couple stuck in just basically 2 locations, not really setting up a lot of crossfires. There's nobody sitting near the car, nobody sitting in just underneath where the bomb gets planted, nobody sitting up on the platform. There was just 2 sort of groups there going there, and there was just easy pickings for Athletico. So perhaps a couple of small mistakes there being made by Parallax, and you can see there on the screen they're choosing to take their timeout in this second map to reassess what's going on and perhaps trying to figure out why they're not having the success they desire.
Yeah, not a bad time to take the timeout here. They've got at least 1 round to play with before it gets to the dire straits, I suppose. But
Sultans of Swing.
Hey?
The Sultans of Swing.
Yeah.
Swinging the momentum back in their favour.
Well,
dire straits. Yep.
I don't know if I'd be that confident about it. Generally speaking, when we've seen attack pause come out, we have seen the team taking the attack pause be able to bring back around. But at the moment, Athletico just looking fantastic. I mean, Parallax haven't necessarily had too much difficulty actually getting into the bomb sites, but holding on to them has been a different story. Athletico on those retakes have been absolutely sublime.
I concur. It's spot on there, but I guess a factor that's leading into that as well, and something that the Parallax boys can discuss right now, is their post-plant positioning. We've seen 2 rounds where they haven't really utilised the territory they've gained in order to be able to defend that bomb once it goes down. So there's an avenue there. So if you can combine fixing up perhaps the post-plant a little bit more with what you're doing.
Don't get too distracted, Mike.
Yeah, Well, what you're doing in terms of getting the bomb site in the first place, improving those post-plant scenarios, and perhaps they can start putting together some more rounds because, this is the time that needs to start to happen because that scoreboard's starting to look awfully nice if you're an Athletico Brotherhood supporter.
Yes, can't forget they've already picked up the first map. If you're just joining us, 16-12 was the result in the favour of Athletico, and it did seem for a short while that it might go actually in the favour of Parallax.
Yeah,
but
it was a very strong start from Parallax, and it's Mirage, which was their pick as well, so it was looking like the writing was on the wall for Athletico, and, perhaps getting some sort of repeat of yesterday's antics, but was not to be the case. And they pulled that one through 16-12, like you mentioned. So the final discussions, the fine-tunings to the plans that they're going to make. And it's infrequent there on your left.
Kyoto on the right. And I think we've just missed one frag, but it's okay. Hats was the one to pick up Chutch, and it does look like Parallax opting now to go for that faster play that we did speak about. They're going for the mid to B. It's worked out okay so far, but infrequent, holding from the platform, gets 2, almost gets a 3rd, not quite going to get it. And the grenade does come in to end the reign of terror. Looks like the B site has been secured here by Parallax. Still a couple of players from Athletico alive. Wouldn't be surprised to see them give this one a go.
Yep, and this is already the post-plant scenario is looking much stronger for Parallax. One at the back, one at the car, and one in the tunnel. This is going to, plus the weight of numbers that they have, 3 versus 2. This could be this pretty good for them. But the flash comes in. Kyoto gets a great entry frag on the retake.
No,
and a second here. And just like that, post-plant, done.
That's game. That's got to be game, right? That's absolutely crushing there for Parallax. Again, we saw it so often on Mirage. They got themselves into positions to win the round, and all of a sudden, Athletico pulls something like that out of the hat, and absolutely capitulates.
You calling it?
I think
is it Athletico taking out their first national land victory at their first nationals?
Well, I'd hate to call it now and then be proven wrong and look like a fool on camera, but it certainly seems that way. Parallax have got some serious thinking to do here. Only really, no rounds to play with almost. Chutch is going to find one there onto Hats, picks him up, and whoa! Crossing with the knife out.
Overconfident.
But
overconfident.
Not punished for it, and that's the big issue there for Parallax.
Yeah, exactly. But Parallax's Raz is up onto the side there, gets the double kill. So this is where they can work into a round here, try and get something done. But the bomb is way, way, way away. It's sitting back in T-spawn because they were setting up for a slow default. Raz taking the initiative of getting that bomb site. But that's going to cause a rotation from Athletico. Perhaps Parallax can punish it. But the answer is no. Liaz and Sonic picking up 1 apiece. And now they've got the numbers advantage yet again, although Liaz is down low on 9 HP.
He certainly is, but 9 HP is still a gun in the game. That's what's important at the moment. Jokes now finds himself in the 1v3 situation. He's going to have to go for this in reality. He does know that Liaz is low, and actually it doesn't really matter when you get a headshot with the AK, but some slick moves from Jokes. If he can pull off a couple more frags, there might be wind yet in the sails of Parallax, making his way slowly but surely up the long area, but there is that hole in the smoke, and it's his undoing.
Play as well. The double stack there. So they line themselves up, one on the bottom ramp there, and we can see that Raz 2K again nicely. One on the bottom ramp there, and then sitting up on short directly above, concentrating their power. They knew where he was. They just line up. There's no way, well, there should be no way that you're able to take out 2 when they're so vertically displaced. So it is map point. It is tournament point. Will Athletico be able to close it out? And this round, they're up against a half buy here. Infrequent making his way into the thing, and that's 2 already for them. It's not looking good here for Parallax whatsoever.
Oh, Infrequent, well, I guess Kyoto getting 1 more there, but it really, Infrequent should have died a whole lot quicker than that for Parallax. In the end, though, they do get the job done. Lonsdale pushing into CT, now down to Raz in a 1v2. Only 23 hit points to play with. He's moving up long. Are we going to be seeing a bit of a deja vu from the last round? The long player trying to get onto the site, but not quite getting there. Athletico this time not opting to really challenge, just holding there. I guess Chutch is holding that angle. Kyoto will swing around as well. In the end, Raz playing so slowly. He does have the bomb, and he'll get the cross safely, and as a result should get the bomb down okay. But I dare say this is going to be an incredibly tough situation for him. He's still got a minute to play with, so just playing down that time of seeing. Maybe if Atletico's down on long, going to peek in towards his sight line, as of course we know that they're not. And they're just holding on in CT. This is great stuff from Athletico, not getting too aggressive, just playing for the retake here, not making any mistakes and feeding Raz a 1v1 or anything like that.
Raz is going to have to make his move pretty soon here. See if he can bait out a player, perhaps. At the very least, put some time pressure on them with the bomb going down. He's being very thorough here, although not checking the little spot behind him.
Yeah. I guess you don't have time to check everywhere. And
no, you don't. And he's going to run out of time. He's going to run out of time pretty soon. He's only got 20 seconds left. So now he believes that he can walk back to run back to the side there.
That's probably the mistake.
Well, I guess he's hedging his bets there. The Molotov comes in, it drops off. He tries to fake out for the plant here, but he's going to have to put it down right now and take on both of these players with only 6 HP.
6 HP, but he can find the 1v1. Great shot coming out there from Raz onto Kyoto. It's now Chuch. If he can land the shot, he does!
Oh.
Parallax survive another round, Mike.
Skin of the teeth there. Raz getting it done. A lot of experience, and he's a big player for Parallax. Makes the big plays on land, and he's done it again there. So still in it. 9-15 is the score. It's a long way to come back from this point for Parallax, but the dream is alive. Athletico, a little bit of pressure off here. They can do an eco. They're going to go aggressive up mid here. It's a straight mid rush. Infrequent gets the first one on Lonsdale.
It would be heartbreaking here for Parallax to lose this anti-eco round, but Hats is going to grab one back against Sonic, so just evening the player advantage, and Yellow going to put that one in the favor of Parallax. Still, though, Infrequent with the AK has found one onto Raz. And now,
the advantage here for Athletico is that they can throw whatever they like at this retake there.
Yeah.
And
2 AKs now in the hands of Athletico. Yep. This could be crucial.
Yeah, they can throw whatever they like in here, and any damage they do is going to make the next round a little bit easier for them. So they should go for this and try and get as many weapons as they can off the hand, and Chuch getting it done there. So 3 versus 2 now. The numbers in their favor as well.
Athletico going to try and push in towards this side. Jokes luckily does get Liaz. They know that both of these players are in the upper tunnel, but is it going to be enough? Chuch able to take down Hats. It's Jokes now having to clutch it out 1 versus 1. He does have the bomb in his play.
That's it.
It is Athletico 16-9, winning their first nationals as a team. And wow, a fantastic result considering how they were performing on day 1, and I guess they came out here, they knew what they had to do, and they take away the AU and NZ championships. Season 1, Athletico are your victors.
I guess you could say they took a book out of journey, never stopped believing, made their way the hard way, all the way through the lower bracket, taking care of XL5 and the Chiefs on their way to the victory, and taking it in pretty convincing fashion, really. 16-12, 16-9. That's a very good effort there by the Athletico boys.
Yeah, I mean,
and
wow.
They should be, well, you saw the reaction there. They were pretty pumped.
Of course you'd be pumped.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Why would you not? And I mean, it hasn't been easy by any means at all for Athletico. These are not scrub teams we're talking about. Like, you know, Chiefs, I mean, despite the fact that they're, in theory, a weakened side, were definitely not pushovers.
No.
At XL5, not the easiest of teams to beat there, and Parallax looking the best that they ever have. You know, you can't be undersold the amount of work that Athletico have done to get here and win that final.
Yep, a very, very impressive play from them overall. So congratulations to Athletico, Season 1 champions of the ESL ANZ Championship. Well, I guess we should wrap it up and see what the boys over the desk have to say. Take it away, Sandman.
Thank you, Mike Star. And it's don't stop believing, not never stop believing. But we'll talk about that one later. Boys, look, I think that last round pretty much summarizes Atletico's journey here this weekend. They started with nothing. They were barely there. They come on through and they win.
Yeah.
Like, just out of nothing. It's pretty impressive.
Won in style as well,
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
Right,
Yeah.
they started on eco, they finished on eco.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, congratulations to the guys here at Athletico. We have a look at our final bracket. They versed Parallax. They lost, like, miserably. Dropped down into lower bracket. Beat XL5. Beat the Chiefs. And have defeated Parallax in the grand final 16-12, 16-9. The champions of the Season 1 Counter-Strike for the ESL, AU, and NZ Championship. I knew that would catch me once. Once this weekend, I would get it.
You can be
I'd
forgiven.
get it wrong.
Just
Wow.
once.
It's impressive. As you said, first LAN championship for these guys, first Nats that they've won.
Yeah.
Infrequent, honestly, really sticking it to his...
Naysayers.
Exactly,
Definitely.
exactly. And a guy who 3 months ago wasn't even allowed to play CS is here today on a winning team on land. You can't do much better than that,
And
surely.
performing at a level that got him in the same trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I wouldn't go that far, but he was performing at a pretty good level. But for me, it was mostly the other guys like Liaz and Kyoto. They were just outstanding. I think the individual players were just enough just to put Parallax away by themselves. And then it was really just a two-man show for Parallax. It was Hats and Raz. And unfortunately, they weren't always in a good enough position to be able to help out. Whereas Liaz and Kyoto, their kills were very important and critical and crucial in their success.
Let's take a look at what these guys have won today. $10,000 was the prize pool. Athletico picking up $5,000 dues there for first place. Parallax, $2,500, not too bad either. $1,500 for the Chiefs and $1,000 for Exile 5. Season 2, we have $20,000 in Season 2. We're going to double the prize pool. That's going to start really soon. So
double the dollary dues.
Double the dollary dues, and hopefully they're worth more than they're worth at the moment. But look, a big year of Counter-Strike here in Australia for ESL. It's been really exciting. What's next for Athletico? They're going overseas. We know Kyoto is leaving the team. I believe that is the knowledge. Yep. What could happen in a month? Who knows? Maybe Lightstep comes through and steals 4 new players. I don't know what's going to happen. but seriously.
I've seen it too many times to laugh at that, actually, so we'll just go with it.
But seriously, where do Athletico go from here? What happens?
Up.
Only up?
That's where they go from here.
I think so. It's only up from here. I mean, they haven't, as much as we have touted these teams that they've versed today, they haven't beaten the cream of the crop yet. We've got people who are underperforming here, so it'll be good to see them up against some solid competition. I think they're going to get that opportunity in China, and it's just going to be a matter of time before there's an Australian powerhouse ready to take them on.
Yeah.
There's 3 things that they're going to take away from today. It's confidence, experience, and dollary dues.
Yeah, and all of those things are really valuable. That's what you want in life, right? So hopefully what we've seen from them this week, I'm much happier to see them struggle on day one here than do the same overseas. Hopefully they can sort of sit back. Obviously, it's a different situation, but a great opportunity for them, and they've taken that away. Commiserations to Parallax, but in the end, I think they certainly turned up and played some good Counter-Strike this weekend. They're a force to be reckoned with within our scene, and I think this isn't the end for them, for sure.
That's right. They set the bar high early, and it's tough to maintain a level of play like that throughout the entire tournament. How many times do you see a team that plays really well throughout the initial stages peter off a little bit, or have teams rise up and play at the same level? Athletico started from the bottom, and I guess now they're here.
Oh, no.
But
They
I
did.
think we'll leave the Drake memes.
Yep.
to another
Yeah.
time.
Definitely, yeah.
Wow, maybe that's not my music.
I can only handle so much, guys.
Jim, Ian, thank you very much for joining me on the desk today. Huge shout out to PDG for his commentating this weekend, and of course to Elfish Guy and Mike Star. Thank you to our teams, Exile 5, Chiefs, Athletico, and Parallax. Of course, all the crew here at ESL, and to everyone here who's turned up to see some Australian and New Zealand Counter-Strike. Thank you very much to our sponsors, HyperX, Razer, and Asus, making it all possible. And of course, congratulations to Athletico, the Season 1 champions of the ESL Australia and New Zealand Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Well done. Thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.